part in my head.
All right.
And so I decided to, start partying.
Hey, everybody. This is a Podcastforwe. Podcast for me, you, and everyone else, as well as podcast for you, our guests, or our audience, our Americans, because we're all American now, because we're together. We're united, finally, huh?
It only took 200 something years.
Yeah. Oh. So, how have you? It's February 18th, 2018. We skipped 2018. 2021.
You wish.
I know, right?
What was going on? What was going on this time 3 years ago? I was newly single. I just bought my Porsche.
Oh yeah, really? It was only 3 years ago.
Yep.
Damn. Oh, the memories.
I was 30 pounds heavier.
2 years ago.
No, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. I was post. I'm in 2 years right now. 3 years ago, we were talking about. I don't know. Looks like nothing. Cobra Kai was coming out. Yeah, Cobra Kai was coming out. And
I still haven't gotten on that.
Good.
I'm on that WandaVision right now, that's for sure.
Oh, speaking of which, you want to get into it? Now let's get into some hard shit and go back into WandaVision. All right. So in the news, we got the new thing or old thing, wear 2 masks. What are your thoughts, Eber? Wearing 2 masks for the COVID disease, Corona.
I'm still only wearing one.
Well, yeah, naturally. But what do you think?
I mean, I haven't looked at the science. It makes sense, right? But I don't think it has a multiplying effect. So like 90 plus 90% doesn't mean 180%. It really means closer to like 91%.
If anything, right?
Yeah.
You wear like 1,000 masks. But like regardless, it does make sense, right? 2 masks would work, right?
I mean, yeah, if you had 2 masks that maybe had different particle filtering, but then you just go with like the finer one, right?
Yeah. But 2 masks is better than 1. It just is. It just is, right?
I'm not going to disagree. The logic sounds sound.
When you're talking about reducing viral load, 2 masks would do it better than 1 mask, right?
Yeah.
I'm not pro this, by the way. I'm just saying, like, I understand the science, and the CDC did recommend it. That's a legit stat. There you go. They did studies. That's for real. And like, I'm not going to fight that. There's no reason to fight those studies. But here's the deal. What the fuck? Of course 2 masks would work. Why wouldn't you wear 3 masks or 4 masks or a fucking spacesuit? Yeah, these fucking things work, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. And now they're pushing it. And it makes you think now, what the fuck is the reason you want to push 2 masks? You're right. So everyone's just going to wear 2 masks and now reduce it even more? I mean, statistically, yeah, I guess it would, right?
Here's the problem with telling people to wear 2 masks. Then people start thinking, oh, I'm wearing 2 masks, so I can do more stuff now. I can get out of the house even more and go and do all kinds of other shit, expose myself more and expose others more.
I guess
happening. Or it could be that the CDC is doing it in response to more people going out and doing shit and basically saying, hey, look, people are going out, they're doing shit. Shit's starting to get back to normal. We're starting to see traffic again. So let's just ask them to double up on their masks. So it's not like a chicken or an egg type deal, I think. Because from the very beginning, you could have said 2 masks are better than 1, right?
You could have said a spacesuit.
Yeah, I mean,
it just comes down to like, why would you keep adding more masks? I mean, like logically, yeah, it would work, but why would you put that on a populace? You know what I mean? Like you've already got them wearing masks. That was hard in it and of itself. I mean, like you reduced it. I don't think adding more masks will necessarily, even if they all complied, I don't think that necessarily would like be the thing that works. The shit, like you got to take your mask eventually. So like the people who are getting sick aren't the people who are wearing the 1 mask. They're taking their masks off, both of them, if they had 1 or 2, and then they go and hang out with their friends and they get with each other and then they get COVID. I mean, that's how they're getting it. They're not getting it because they're all they're in a room, they're all masked up and they're all, minding their P's and Q's. No, it's you're at a funeral. You're at a birthday party.
I miss hanging out with the homies, but one of our homies got sick and it kind of validated, all of us kind of keeping within our bubbles.
But he kept going. He kept going out though. And he works. He works.
He works with a lot of people. Right. But it's just I think it could have happened to any one of us, right?
More me than you or any of you.
Yeah, definitely me. I'm mostly working from home. I go
Yeah.
on site, but even then I'm only interacting with, 3 or 4 of the same people.
Yeah.
And even then we're wearing masks and our doors are open and all that blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I would get COVID before all of you.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
you're
And
in a
I'm not
place
like
where
a hardcore mask wearer. I'm not like wearing a mask to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, my own personal bathroom. I would wear a mask to a bathroom. And I've gone camping several times, It's really, I'm telling you, I've seen the stories in the sense of like I have to ask why are you getting the COVID test? And usually it's just like they came back from a party or they met up with their parents or some friends came over and guess what they did? They took their mask, and I'm not knocking them. I'm saying that's going to happen. But getting the populace to all wear masks, that's not what's getting people sick. It's them, unfortunately, letting their guard down,
Yeah.
And I mean, who isn't, So it begs the question, like, I don't know, man. If we didn't wear masks, we were at the restaurants and stuff, would we really get sick, or was it more of it because you're just coming in close contact with people and shit?
Well, you know what? The restaurants are open right now, but I'm not eating indoors. For Valentine's Day, we went to this place that has like an outdoor seating area, patio, and then even then, it's like a bar setup, and there's cubicles, plexiglass cubicles, and you're still outside, but and there wasn't that many people there, so got lucky there. Whale watching out on a fucking ocean with like a quarter capacity boat deck, like 12 feet apart from everybody else. Um, and that I think that's the most adventurous we've been.
Yeah, but even then, you're kind of separated from people. It's not like you're hugging them and shit. You're not in a fucking room together
Well,
with
and
a
even though
person.
we were outdoors on that whale watching thing, we had our masks on. And everybody was required to wear their masks. It was one of those TSA type deals, one of those federal deals, all
Uh
boats. And
oh. You're freezing. You're like jittering.
am I still jittering?
No, you're good. You're back to normal.
Okay, my bad. So yeah, no, I mean we had our masks on the whole time. Obviously not when we're eating, but out on the boat. Um, but yeah, still not wanting to eat indoors.
Well, I mean, like, well, my main point is the fact that like the people who are getting it are only people who are like with each other, right? And it's not really a thing in which you're getting it because you're not wearing a mask. Really, like all these stories crack down to, you just hanging out, going to a funeral and things like that. And that makes sense. But like, I'm not hearing, yeah, I just went to the store and I got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they are wearing their masks though when they're in the store.
I mean, there's a reason why a mask is certain percent effective. That other percent means that you could wear a fucking mask and still get sick. So I mean,
No, I think the people see even then, the people who got sick when they were wearing masks, I think it's more of a thing in which they fucking didn't wear their masks at one time. I have nothing to make
or they
myself
wore their
right.
masks and touched something, and then later on and didn't sanitize right away, or touch their mask with it, or there's a lot of ways that it could happen. But yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. Um, what was I reading the other day? That a lot of other transmissible diseases are on the down.
But all right,
Because everybody's been so careful.
no, I don't think it's that, and I think that's like a shitty way of reporting. It's like I called it before it even happened. It's more of a motherfucker. I can't find this one thing. It's more of a thing of, okay, so for instance, flu. When you go and test for flu, you're tested for flu, and then most times you're not reporting that because why bother? You're just going to then just give them the the Tamiflu or what the fuck ever, right? Or you're just going to treat it without even giving them the test. That's a normal thing that happens. Some places do test and they do report it to the health department, but that's not like the norm.
Okay, how about STDs?
See, now with STDs, okay, check it out. I'll give
I'd
you
like to
that.
see some stats on some STDs.
All right, so STDs work like this. So you come in with your gonorrhea or chlamydia or whatever, and what happens is we get the report, we see the lab, and then we, the medical assistant or nurse or whatever, have to write out a sheet and then fax it over to the Department of Health. And the Department of Health then contacts these people, right? But that's not a thing that's kind of enforced. It's not like, I mean, there's countless times where like you're doing 100 things and you just don't do that one report, and there's no accountability or anything like that. And a lot of people do this. I mean, it's up to the clinic to do that, and some clinics don't even do that. Some urgent cares just don't do it.
Is that something that's only happening right now during COVID, or has it always been like that?
It's always, wait, let me finish. So it's always been that way for you're talking about for STDs, right?
Right.
So it's always been like that, right? Like where you're just kind of reporting it and then filling out the paper, because it's tedious. It's not something like that's forced on you. You fill it out and you fax it. Not everyone's always doing that. That's just the thing. And nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is less people coming in for STDs. I mean, they're coming in still now because things have calmed down, but over time it kind of slowed down. We weren't seeing that many people coming in for STD testing and things like that because people are like, I don't want to go in that clinic because I don't want to get that. Yeah, I don't want to get that shit. So, I mean, that's what you got going on. So bringing it back to like flu and all these other diseases, you don't really, we weren't reporting them that much to begin with. I mean, the sheer amount of flu is way higher than what's reported. It just is, because it's not like a thing, because we've already hammered it out. You get the flu shot, you got all this shit, and why bother? And you got Tamiflu, you got antiviral that's already there. So you got all these things in place, and you're just like, whatever. So it's not like there. So, okay, so you got COVID. COVID comes down, and it mimics a lot of symptoms. Right. So everything that every fucking thing that you have could be like a flu, a stomach ache, this, that. We're not testing anymore for that. All we're testing is for COVID. That's all we would test for. To do a panel, so like when I go into your nose, I'm like, fucking nose fucking you with this stick. Look, you can run a PCR test, a whole panel, a comprehensive panel on these fucking things. You're not doing it because it costs the patient like thousands of dollars. So we don't do it. We used to, but it costs them a lot of money, so we stopped. And then so therefore those tests aren't even getting out, you know? So something like as simple as flu, and you have flu, we know it's flu, but we're testing for COVID. And we could test for flu and COVID in the same swab, but we won't. No point, because all the precautions are the same, almost. I mean, COVID's more stricter.
Right.
So if you just COVID restrict, you're good for flu. You're good for everything. Catches everything. Right. That's it. So when you see the story, oh yeah, fucking
everything else is down too.
But it's not really, because it's just because we're not testing for it. And we literally had a meeting about that, and it was basically, why bother testing if it's the same fucking thing? And I'm like, well, don't we want to get those stats out there? That's not a concern. That is not a concern. The concern is this: get the shit done, get fixed people, do this, do that, but not trying to collect statistics. That's not being the national message. That's not a message to be said. No one's talking about it because no one gives a fuck. All we're talking about is the superficial things, like he's sick, he died, this and that. And that's a legit thing, but what could you do with more information? A lot. But we don't do that. We just don't. In fact, the lab that we had wasn't reporting our COVIDs. So we had to find a way to do it ourselves, because most times, like, I just assumed the fucking lab would do it. Right. Like, but I guess they did it, you know? So I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then, okay. So for the health department, it comes with a fucking sheet. And Michigan is different from California. California has like a whole page. Michigan has like a little sheet. Like that's how much they give a fuck. It's a little sheet. And then I guess you could write it in. So that's what I was thinking. So you write it in and you fax it to the health department, and fucking hopefully shit gets done.
All right. How are you guys looking on vaccines? Are you guys still doing certain ages, or where are you guys at?
Well, I got vaccinated because I fucking rock. But like they're just now gotten to there's like stages. So it goes like the healthcare workers, and then underneath it's like old people and fucked up individuals, and then underneath that I think it's whatever's left.
What about firefighters and police?
You would think, right? Maybe I think they're considered frontline.
Well, it's because there's two people at my work. They're married to police officers in different jurisdictions, and neither one of them could get a vaccine right now. I know.
Maybe they should talk to their fucking HR department.
I don't know. We supposedly the teachers are going to be coming up here pretty soon. And then so there's all kinds of negotiation going on right now, but it looks like they settled on. So like, let's say Monday, this is in my district, right? Not the state. In my district, let's say Monday becomes available to the teachers. 8 weeks after that, the teachers have to return to the sites. But it's not going to be all the kids returning to the sites. It's going to be 10% of the kids at a time in 2 shifts. So 10% Monday, Tuesday, a different 10% Wednesday, Thursday. And most likely it'll be like the lowest performing, highest need 20%, 10 and 10, 20% of the kids. And some teachers are freaking out like, wait, how are we going to teach like that? We're teaching at the same. I'm like, it's way simple. Just do exactly what you're doing now, but you're doing it in your classroom. And it just so happens that there's 3 or 4 kids there. So that when they have questions, they're there and you can see what fucking button they're pushing or what they're not doing or, what they're missing. Because a lot of it is the kids don't have an adult that can help or that is equipped to help them. It's not that the adults are stupid, irresponsible. They just don't know this stuff, right? And so I can see why we want to have those kids back. The other ones that are flourishing, they'll be fine. I know that just because the kid has an A doesn't mean that they're not experiencing trauma, mental or emotional trauma. I know that that's what it means, but the ones that are failing, I think it's like a glaringly obvious. They're experiencing trauma and they need help in school. So it sucks that we have to triage this shit, but it's kind of where we're at.
Well, I mean, okay, go ahead.
Well, so that's 8 weeks, right, after the vaccine becomes available, but they're still giving us option of coming back April 5th. So any teachers that want to come back on April 5th can. I've been going, 2 or 3 times a week to the site, even though it's half an hour away, but I don't know, it just feels good being in my classroom. But after April 5th is when they're giving us the option to come back.
What's the thought process behind, like, fucking shit? I'm fucking my shit up. What's the thought process behind? Give me a second. Yeah. What's the thought process behind coming into school without people being fully vaccinated?
I don't know, because they can't. It's weird. I think they're requiring us all to get vaccinated. Is what it reads like. Because we asked, right? This was a smaller meeting with our union rep. We're like, wait, so are they requiring us to get the vaccine? And they said it reads like yes and no, because we're required to come back 8 weeks after it's available. We're if we don't schedule to get the vaccine through our healthcare provider within the first 5 days that it's available, the district will, do it for us. But I it's weird, right? So it's like, I think they're going to bring us back even if we don't have the vaccine. Like, even if we haven't been administered the vaccine.
Well, if they do that, I mean, it's not like they're forcing you. They're just bringing you back, and it's up to you to get it. It's like,
Right.
I don't know. That kind of gives you kind of freedom of choice, as opposed to saying, yeah, if you want to work, you have to get the vaccine, which I would perceive them to do that,
I mean, it feels like it, but again, it feels like we can come back without getting the vaccine. But it's just, if I was a parent you know, I would hope that all the teachers were vaccinated, right? To
Yeah.
kind of limit exposure, you know, hopefully. I mean, not that a person with the vaccine can't spread it. You know, because touching shit and, you know, moving shit around and distributing shit and whatever. Um, but I don't know. I wish that that level of safety would be offered from the teachers to the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, as a parent, I would like my teacher to be fucking vaccinated, you know, so they
Right.
don't bring that shit to me.
Yes.
But I mean, it's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping we all get to come back in July. Um, White House put out, hey, you know what? By the end of July, everybody who wants a vaccine should be able to get a vaccine. And
Well, that's if it's available.
that's if it's available. But man, I mean, are we on track for 100 shots in the first 100 days?
You know what? It's not so much as the making of the vaccine, even though that's a thing too, because I think there's like a number for how to do that. But it's the storage of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You need those like ultra freezers. So that's a thing onto itself. And the places, see, administering a vaccine is one thing, but having a place that has access to this fucking, I think it's like an hour. Like if once it's out, it has like an hour lifespan.
Yeah, that's why
And
they were
then
they were doing people on the street.
yeah, and that one guy got in trouble, which is kind of fucking weird. Do
But
you hear about that guy, the Indian dude? And hey, breaking news. This
how long was
fucking
it?
guy, right? He's an Indian dude, and I guess apparently because give me a second, he
Go for it.
vaccinated too many Indian people. They said he was racist. Ain't that weird? Ain't that some shit?
Well, I mean, I would probably try and figure out. Well, I mean, is he in a place that's heavily Indian?
Mm, well, I don't know about that,
That'd be like a
but like,
doctor. That'd be like a doctor in Paradise Valley being accused of, you know, vaccinating too many Filipinos. You
yeah,
know,
I
that's
hear
all
that,
Paradise
but
Valley is.
yeah, I hear that, but like, I mean, it's just the fact that he was vaccinating people, and fuck it, who cares if he's vaccinating his own friends? Those people are vaccinated. I mean, like, as long as the people are vaccinated, that's all I give a shit about. As long as they're vaccinated, right? I mean, like, if favoritism, this shit was gonna go. He has not much time. He does not have time. He has like an hour, you know, and then like
Uh,
so or
yeah. If his shit breaks and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna call the people I know. Chances are, most of the people he knows are
yeah, and
like,
people think like giving us shots is like, oh, you just got the shit. We're not in the fucking like 1700s and shit. You got to track this shit. You have to get the paperwork done, and then you have to have like a timeline for them to get their second shot. It's not just something as simple as, oh, yeah, I got the fucking shot. Well, what the piece of shit? No, he has a limited amount of time. He contacts the people he can, and within the certain criteria too. There has to be fucking died, and he gave it to his fucking wife. Fuck you if you think that's a bad thing. I mean, I have to say, man. I mean, like that sounds like a legit. Who wouldn't? That'd be fucked up.
well, I mean, there's ethics, rules, and, you know,
Well, you think
laws.
about it, you live with your wife,
But
right?
I'm just thinking, you know, without knowing all the facts, I mean, I don't know. I mean, was he in like a time crunch where something
Yeah.
broke and it was just like, oh fuck, you know,
No,
just
no, 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 no.
tear everybody in?
He has the people scheduled. He opens the fucking thing, and you have leftovers. And there's a meeting. They had a meeting about this, and everyone has meetings about this shit. This is your criteria: 1A, this, and that, and then there's the other people, and above all else, you don't waste these shots. You don't. So
Well,
he's got.
yeah, because I guess what was it like? Each one of the vials had like for five, but it turns out that there was a sixth. You know, you could squeeze out a sixth or something like
Like,
that. Or
I don't know. I would think they're prefab. So some vaccines, and I like these ones. They come ready to go. You just get a needle in your gut. It's go time. Regardless, you still have the time crunch. You open up the seal because Pneumovax is kind of like that. It has like these two vaccinations in them, and you open it up like Cheetos or chips or some shit, and you got two vaccines ready to go. Not for the same person, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, like they're good to go. But like I was thinking, I overheard it. It was something like there's like a package of them. He opens them, he vaccinates the people he can, and shit, what are you gonna do with the leftover? You know, all the people weren't in. and he has to meet this criteria. So he gets the people he knows, that meets that criteria. And his wife, believe it or not, hey, she is part of the criteria. It's not just like she's not sick. She actually has a pulmonary thing. She's in that criteria. So it wasn't like it's all good. Like, that's all I gotta say. It's all good. The only thing that got him is because it was too many Indian names. And I have a theory. It's just because that's all the people he knew. He could reach at the time.
That's probably why.
Because it is a time crunch. You got to get that shit out.
My only thing is you kind of want to discourage people from, like under scheduling, or scheduling at times. That
If anything,
convenient or something. Sabotaging their own schedule so that they can have some vaccine left over for.
I hear you.
So
that's
the only reason I would maybe say that it's okay to maybe shit on this guy, but I don't think he should. I think it'd be unfair, like if he lost his license or.
I think he lost his job, and they're criminal charges or some shit.
I don't know about that. No, I know. No, yeah, you shouldn't lose your shit over that. Yeah, I don't know, but that's without reading everything, right?
You know what? We went too far in the paint with the COVID. I wanted to get into the impeachment. What'd you think about that?
That's exactly what was going to happen.
Really? My comment was like, I really thought they had him dead to rights.
Of course they did, but I mean, it's a political thing. Mitch McConnell's 100% right as far as, Donald Trump's going to probably face criminal charges, criminal liability. Impeachment, I don't buy that whole argument that, we can't impeach him because he's already gone. No. He's already been impeached. Now you're just trying to figure out, okay, is this valid? Is he guilty of the things that he's been impeached for? It doesn't matter that he's in office still, especially since Mr. McConnell was the one that pushed the motherfucker back. He stalled it so that afterwards he could say it's too late. That's bullshit. So he's trying to have it both ways. He's playing this game because he wants to stay Speaker of the House, or he wants to have some kind of power afterwards. I don't know. The dude's old. He should just retire, but but he wants to stick to it.
All right. I don't think he's going to go to jail, period. But the impeachment, though, especially after the impeachment, I think the impeachment, man. All right, look, this is what should have went down. The Democrats should have had a solid case, and then let me finish.
Okay.
She had a solid case. They knew they could finish, and not rely on like semantics. Like, it's like, did you watch the impeachment? I did, because I
watched as much as I could. It sucked because I was working, but yeah, I watched as much as I could.
I have 12 hours of work, and I control the TV, so I put the impeachment on, and I put that on, and I'm listening to it in periphery because it's a lot of bullshit. Like that, you have Democrats like, okay, he did a bad thing, but they can't just say that. He did a bad thing, and this is why we need to. And there was a lot of theatrics, and I was like, wait, I thought they were impeaching him, not doing drama. And I thought that was the plan from the beginning. Impeach him, have evidence, impeach him. But they didn't do that.
I thought that 13-minute video that they opened with was really strong. I thought
it was good, but it was edited heavily.
And that is cutting back and forth.
No, but in context, the way they edited it, and there was, it's like the Tree of Woe. Like, they had all these little like things that they did, and I don't know why they did that, because you have evidence, you just show it and let people decide. But like, here you are, right? You're a Republican, because you need the Republicans to go against their party. So that's a big deal, right? So Republicans are like, cut the bullshit. That's where they're at right now. That's one of their main things right now, is like, oh, the Democrats act like this, they act like that. And for the most part, they're fucking right, because they're overacting. And so they cut the shit. And you want us to vote against our own party? Let's go. Cut the shit. But they didn't do that. You know what? They did a lot of things where they doctored images as evidence.
So they had doctored.
Yeah, they did.
The big argument that everybody hid behind. The big argument that everybody hid behind was that he wasn't president anymore, so the Senate had no. That was
day one.
The thing about guilt or not guilt, they wouldn't comment on it either way, which was crazy. The main defense was he's not president anymore, so why are we doing this? And then they
I
voted against
I
because
th- I thought that was it. Day one, when they pulled that shit, like, well, we can't impeach him because he's out. I thought, oh shit, you know what? I mean, if it hangs up on that, if it's that alone, I think that's how he get out. But that was day one. After that, it was everything else.
the problem is the Democrats even cited precedents. No. This went down exactly like it was gonna go down. It was political, but I mean, it was. They keep saying it's the most bipartisan vote for conviction, which just means that the opposing party, or the president's party, that more people voted against them than in prior impeachments, right? But no, they were hiding behind that. But they're two-faced, dude. It's Mitch McConnell was trying to have it both ways. What does fucking Texas is freezing? What does Ted Cruz do? He goes to fucking Cancun.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're
Well, Democrats do that too.
it.
Yeah, Democrats in New York going, "Hey, we're in this together," as they're in Cabo. You know what I mean? Like calling him out for being
not in the midst of this shit.
no in a pandemic.
Stupid shit at different times. Nancy Pelosi went and got her hair done. Everybody threw a fucking fit.
Yeah, everybody's doing. They're all two-faced, all of them, fucking up and down.
But this one's almost too fucking much, man. It's like
You mean
even
Ted
if it was
Cruz?
pre-planned, it's like, oh shit, it's fucking freezing here. People are dying. Everybody's without power. We're going somewhere sunny and temperate.
I mean, I could see that, but it doesn't bother me to see that politicians are doing two-faced things. I get it. I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. Here's your time to actually get this motherfucker, nail him to the fucking cross, as he should have. But they doctored the images of like it was weird. It was a fucking weird thing. Okay, so like they had these tweet. They used they had a conversation of a person who had a conversation. So they had two people in a room, and this other guy heard about what these two people said in a room. That's not like, if you go to court, that's not a thing. You can't say I heard a person talk about something, but they did that. And then they did it with tweet. It was weird. So in Twitter, a verified account has a blue check mark, right? They had a person say some shit that was like, yeah, we got to do this. We got to fight the fight. And they edited a blue check mark for this lady who's not verified. It's a lie. It's blatant. And like, she did say that though. That's the thing though. Republicans point to this, but they're wrong. She did say this, but she is not verified. And they put a little blue check mark. But they didn't have to do that. But they did.
That's stupid. They shouldn't have done
and they edited certain videos, right? In a certain way where it just makes Trump just say only the bad shit because he does say go to the and I'm not defending Trump, by the way. I'm not.
You are. That's okay. You love Trump. You've been a Michigan for too long.
And I go. He goes, yeah, go to the Capitol, but do it peacefully. But they edit that out, and I was like, okay, because you did that.
I don't know that he ever said, but do it peacefully.
He did. It is. Trust me. It's there. And then
he said it later.
No. I'll get to that too. So in that speech, when he's riling them up and shit, he goes, yeah, we're gonna go to the Capitol. I'm gonna go too, but do it peacefully and respect your people and do all this. But it was edited so you wouldn't see that. Not for like when it first came out, but for the trial of the impeachment, which is not really a trial, because if you doctored evidence, you go to jail for that. That's not a good thing to do. So it's just a voting thing that you can get away with. So they did that, right? And then they did this thing where, so like I watched this YouTube video of a guy breaking down the time marks of when shit went down, and it's like, when he goes, hey, stop fucking fighting. And then he says, we need to do this, this, and this. He says, I love you. He says that. But you see the edited video of just him saying, I love you. Like he's just some dumb fuck who's like, I love you. But he says that 20 minutes into the fucking riot.
Yeah.
So he said, but when it's reported in the impeachment, they're saying he did this a day later.
No, he did it that day.
No, I know, but in the
hours later.
I know. No, it was within like it as it happening. They said that he did this after people died. He did this before people died.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude.
Yeah, it's
I,
that
I I
shit's
remember
legit.
I remember seeing it, and it was already like, dude, this
I
is
remember
already
talking
been
about it,
happening all day.
but people weren't dead. That's the thing. We didn't know about deaths until later, and
We
then you
didn't
even had the
know we
time mark.
didn't know about
No, but
deaths.
we have the time marks. Well, I didn't fucking download
Well, I
it
mean,
and
the
shit.
dude had already been beaten his they'd already beaten his fucking head in by the time Trump went and said that.
So they add all these deaths together too. So they say there's 7 deaths, right? As it turns out, there wasn't 7 deaths at that time.
Yeah,
There's people dying. Of course, the lady who got shot, of course, but there are people who just
gunshot, fire
there's
extinguisher,
2 suicides.
3 medical events, so they probably,
Yeah,
they had heart attacks and then the 2 suicides, yeah.
and later on, not on that day.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just like, but the way they did that. So here you are, a Republican, being told to vote against your team, and you know that you have the facts, and then you see this, and it's like unnecessary. They have actual facts, but for some reason they doctored a lot of the images to make it look like certain, just to force a narrative. And that's something the Republicans have been pushing for a while, is that these narratives are being pushed. And so okay, so if you want somebody to vote against their fucking party, I think that you should cut the shit and kind of just point out I think if they were just dry about it and they cut out the theatrics, the Republicans who are dry themselves, they're
I
not like
think they
party animals.
no, fuck no. I think they try
Yeah.
to play the Republicans game against them, but they're pro. The Republicans are pro. The Republicans know how to do it, and they know how to turn it around.
In what way? In what way are Republicans getting on the stand and we need to do this? And they're fucking crying. They're fucking crying. Like,
Bro,
who
the morning
fucking
of
does
January
that?
6th, the morning of January 6th, that whole riot. You got fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying all this crazy shit and being loud. They're really, really good at it. The Democrats just they don't know, they don't have that judo to take what the other side is doing and then roll it against them. They're not good at that. They're not good at that. They could have played it dry, but then it's like, oh, they're playing it dry. They didn't come with any thunder. I think
I don't
either
know.
way,
You
there's
telling Republicans to vote against
no,
themselves by
Kevin,
lying.
it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter how they would have presented it. The vote would have been the same
You
because,
think?
yeah, it was a political thing. It
They
was
already
all
knew. They
it,
already knew.
they knew, but here's the thing: they got them on the record, basically voting one way or the other, because there was an argument. The Senate could have made it a secret vote, and in a secret vote, who knows what would have happened, right? More people probably would have had the balls to say, hey, you know what? Fuck, he's guilty. We want to get him out because we don't want him running for shit again. We don't want to have to be beholding to him or his base. But since their fucking name is on it, they got to put it in. So it was like, okay, do we make it a secret vote, which would be more likely to convict them? Or do we do, an open vote where basically they got to sign their fucking name to this thing and they're basically in cahoots, which is why nobody argued whether or not Trump was actually wrong or guilty of this shit. And the fucking leader, the former majority leader, now minority leader of the Senate, fucking came out right away afterwards and said, hey, look, I voted no because, constitutionally, blah, 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 but Trump is still responsible for what happened that day. So he's trying to have it both ways, to have he's trying to maintain the moral high ground, but be this, constitutional defender, blah, blah, bullshit, right? Um, but no. This was not going to happen. I think the Democrats, they did as much as they could do. They gambled on the theatrics part, and then the fucking Republicans, super clever, just said, "Hey, this is a bunch of theatrics." And by calling it theatrics, you automatically blow it off. It's like it showing emotion just because it's emotional and melodramatic doesn't make it any less true that these people felt these things. But uh, black and white on its face. I think they presented a good case. Didn't mean to rhyme there. Um, I thought the videos were really powerful. I would hope that there wasn't any editing that was done to mislead, but just to kind of, strengthen and
You can't do
try
that
to
though. You
shock
can't. You
people.
can't. You can't fucking do that. You're trying to
Yeah, you
prevent
can. Oh, yeah,
evidence,
you
not
can.
no, you can't.
Yeah, people do it all the time. Breaking news, and then they only show the car crashing and
We're
turning
not
into
talking about
sand.
news. We're talking about impeachment. Like if that was a trial, you can't do it. If that
But
was a trial, you couldn't have done that,
no,
right?
you actually made the case. This is not a trial. The
I know.
arguments they make, the arguments that they make on either side are really more like opening and closing arguments of a trial, where you really can say almost anything. You don't have to say the word allegedly. You don't need to provide evidence. You can say, we're going to show how the defendant went in and stabbed that person or shot that thing or stole this thing. You can go ahead and say it there. You can say almost anything you want, but it's when you provide evidence and witnesses, and you put your hand on the Bible and all that, that you really got to be careful and watch your shit. But during opening and closing statements, you can almost get away with anything. And that's really all that shit is, in the Senate. Um, yeah, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. But now they're on the record. Now they're tied to that shit from now and forever. That they
I
went.
don't think anything's gonna happen of that. You know what I mean? Like I
No,
don't.
it's not.
I
It's
think
it's
it's
not.
like it's nothing happens.
It's not immediate because his base is still all about him. They're still going to vote for those people. The problem right now for the Republican Party is that they're getting fractured, and so they're either radicalizing or wow, no, that's what it just seems like. It seems like they're just becoming more radical. I don't think the Democrats have that problem. I think Joe Biden getting nominated and elected kind of.
I think what's going on right now is the media has taken over, and we haven't noticed it, and we're continuously fighting each other from now on until eternity. And now they have this way of like just controlling the narrative. Like we're arguing about red and blue while brown is taking over, some bullshit like that.
I feel like it's the media's kind of like a result of what our tendencies are. If it didn't sell, we wouldn't watch it. And sensationalism sells.
Well,
It's the reason why Fox News is so successful. Their model is, we're going to sensationalize this shit. We're going to play to a group of people that aren't getting played to, Republicans, and that's why they have, such a large market share. They've got almost 50%. Why? Because about half of the country is Republican. So it's almost like blaming people for making something that people are buying. Well, people are buying it, dude. I mean, people are buying it. And there's this vicious cycle, right? That's why we eat processed food. That's why we eat shit that's driven in from all far away. That's why we buy shit that's, on built by modern day slave labor. It's because it sells.
We create these social structures to keep us in check, right? Like why do we have a constitution? Why do we have a government? Why do we have just the Department of Health, things like that? We create these things that will outlast people to have some kind of a thing that will last, like an
Well,
ideology.
originally the only people that were allowed to represent government or vote were landowners. So and this is in the U.S. So I mean, I hear what you're saying. We create the social structure to benefit society, but really the people that get to make those decisions at the top, they're usually finagling it for themselves, and they put something in there for everybody, just to please everybody, and we go along with it because we like it. Um, Trump, before he went out, was like, "Hey, I want $2,000 per person, not $600 per person," and I was like, "Fuck, I can't argue with that." I'd like to have $2,000 also. So I'll support that, even if I don't need it.
I hear you, but like at the same time, like what's happening right now is we're allowing an entity to take over. Like when we let government take over, when we let federal government take over.
It's a
I mean, we
business,
let
man.
I know, but we let things take over, and that's cool. And then it shapes the new narrative, right?
I don't know, dude. Even Fox News shat on fucking Ted Cruz for leaving the state in the middle of a fucking, uh, goddamn. It should be a goddamn what is it? Disaster. Was it emergency? I don't know. What is it? When it activates those disaster protocols, FEMA shows up.
Emergency disaster protocol. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. but it's a product, dude. It's another thing that's built and packaged, and we buy it or we don't buy it. Same thing with movies. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. Oh, they're pushing some kind of woke agenda. Don't fucking watch it. And guess what? They're gonna change their tune. Fucking Gina Carano got canceled. Okay, now Disney's getting shit on, and they're having to reconsider their decision. It's still a free market, and even the news is a free market. So I don't really buy that the idea that the news is choosing the narrative. I think they kind of have a good idea of what people want to hear and how people want to hear it. And so long as it's sensational and it sells, they're gonna report it. And if it's a story that is sensational and it has these extreme views and it gets clicks, that's what you're gonna get.
So there was a time where we had slaves. We don't have them now. It's because we rose up and we created a situation where we don't have them anymore. For the most
enough
part, ultimately.
enough of us rose up.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of us eventually rose up to make that change, against the pain of the minority crowd at the time. But again, that's another situation where it took time. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't like 1776 Declaration of Independence, 1777 the slaves are freed. No, the rules were in place because that was a majority of what people wanted. People were okay with slaves. People were okay with that the economic system and that social system at the time. And after a while, people were like, hey, you know what, this is wrong. And enough people were like fed up with it that change had to happen. And it came to blows, fucking civil war, right? The South says, well, we're gonna keep our way of life, so we'll go ahead and leave the Union. And the Union was like, no, fuck you guys are staying. And we fought a war to keep them. Again, because enough people wanted that product, enough people wanted the whole United States to stay together.
Okay, so I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying here. So you've got a narrative for slaves. That's kind of not too hard, right? You just say I don't want slaves anymore, and then that's the end of it, right? Imagine if we had slaves, and instead of arguing we shouldn't have slaves, we're arguing about, hey, what about the price of tea in China? And then we're arguing about that, but we're not really talking about slaves. We're talking about that. Imagine some nefarious entity doing that. Now it's not like a one person kind of thing. This is a conglomerate of people to shape a narrative. I mean, like it just is. We're talking about red and blue when we really should be talking about why the fuck is it red and blue?
People give a shit about what's happening right now today. And I'm talking about the general population. I think present company included. We care more about today and tomorrow than we do about 10 years from now. So those nuanced, complicated, regulation or trade or any of that kind of shit, it's out in the weeds for us. But we understand fucking having to wear masks, getting vaccines, going to the fucking movies, and getting my fucking stimulus check. We know that because that's right now. It's affecting us right now every time we fucking wake up, every time we go to sleep. The ideas of, should we start regulating trade stocks and Robinhood? I don't fucking care. I ain't got no fucking 401k. I'm a working person. That doesn't affect me right now. That's affecting somebody else. I don't give a shit. And the news understands this. If most of the people that are watching them have this problem, this pressing issue, when the teachers are going to go back to school, I honestly, I think, what's going on in Texas right now kind of shows, hey, I think we should be worrying about what's going to fucking happen next time we have another storm like this. Is it the Green New Deal that caused this, even though it's not a thing yet?
Yeah.
Or was it fossil fuels? Was it natural gas? What happened? What's the thing here? Because people fucking died. People are suffering right now, a lot worse than if their kids had to go to school or not. But that's the thing that people are talking about. That's the thing. It's on 60
Yeah,
Minutes.
it's politicized when it really should be a thing in which it's probably like an infrastructure or no actual plan. You know what I mean? I don't think it's some nefarious thing like, oh yeah, Texas is just, they're their own state. They're trying to what's the thing where they separate, succeed?
In tribalism is a real thing, dude. I mean, we've been practicing that for a long fucking time. Let's look at fucking sports teams, soccer teams. That's an example of tribalism, and politicians have weaponized it, and the media has kind of gone along with it. to report on this shit, to kind of, push people to the extremes. Why? Because again, that's what sells. That's what gets people going. QAnon starts out by saying, "Hey, you know what? We've got inside knowledge from the top that these Democrats are doing this, this shady thing," and then fucking walk those people off a cliff until they thought that they were eating babies and shit. Talk some dude into going into a goddamn that one pizza place with a fucking rifle after recording, a suicide video to his kids. So this that's how you get there. And fucking Alex Jones got there too. Rush Limbaugh got there too. Eventually, you say enough shit to the point where it's not shocking them anymore. And I need to step it up, and people keep buying it. And it's power creep, you know, but political.
I don't
Radicalization.
know, man. A lot of the shit you just said is just a bunch of shit out there where so you got people thinking the earth is flat, right? And you got people thinking, oh, I'm gonna build a fucking rocket to to show that I know something you don't. And then they die, right? And that's not one guy. And if you had like hundreds of people fucking building rockets and doing that, you wouldn't blame the fucking website that they read that the earth is flat. I would have to say accountability, man. Some people are
Have you
just
watched
dumb
any
as
of those
fuck.
videos?
Of them trying to go up into space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so guess what? You fed into it too. You're just as guilty because you created traffic on the website. You affected the algorithm. More people started clicking because other people were clicking. And guess what? Now you got a bunch of people watching the flat earther videos. And a couple of those people are stupid enough to start believing that shit.
But that's not the thing. That's not the thing's fault. That's the people's fault.
Boom. Thank you, Kevin.
You can't just say boom. Like 1 + 1 is 3. Boom. That is
You just said it right now. That's the people's fault. It's the people's fault. It's us, the consumers, that are deciding whether I'm going to watch Channel 6 or I'm going to watch Channel 7.
No,
Who's
I'm talking about like a
the-
minor. I'm talking a minority. I'm not talking about a group, right? Like right now, when I'm talking to you, I don't see a person talking about the real threat. I see a person who's caught up into left and right, and that's it right there. Left, right. That's
So
not
what?
that's
So
that
what do
is
you
the
think is?
problem.
What do you? And well, we've been
That is the
talking about left
problem.
and right. We've been talking about left and right, and I was talking about how people kind of get bought into picking far left or far right,
I feel you.
because of these sensational stories.
I think in general,
Um,
to actually have a thought like this, I am all about abortion, but I'm all about a gun. But you can't have those two thoughts. If you're left, you have to be a set of things. If you're right, you have to be a set of things. That's the problem.
well, and that's starting to change too, because
Is it?
the right has had to take a bunch of positions. There
Like, why
there
do you
has
have to be religious to be a conservative? Why do you have to be an atheist to be Democrat? Why is it that you can't be all about gays as a Republican? Why can't you be, I don't know, anti-Muslim as a Democrat? I don't know. Don't do that.
You're right. You're right. Somewhere along the line,
I'm not saying
somebody
be
decided
anti-Muslim though.
it's because there are a couple of threads that kind of connect to another one. If you're a religious person, then you kind of want to conserve things and stick to the Bible. So you kind of want to stick to that set of values, and that's gonna drive you against homosexuality, against any
But,
LGBTQ
but
plus.
you see my fucking point though. It shouldn't
And
be one or the other.
again,
Can't you just be a pro-gay, gun-owning, abortion fucking monster? Fuck. Why can't you
yeah,
be?
but since it's a two-party system,
It
eventually
should be.
they fall into one or the other.
I don't think it
If
should be.
it does morph over time. It does morph over time. But the thing about
You're right.
and conservatism has changed. It's actually morphed based on their votes now. They're less on states' rights. They're actually more towards a strong central government, which has traditionally been a democratic view. Uh, just all the votes that they just took right now, especially voting to not permit certain states to submit their electoral votes, that goes way against traditional conservative values. And that's why the Republicans are kind of fracturing right now. Now the progressives on the liberal side, they're kind of sticking to their thing, but they're Uh, they're getting stretched out, a little bit, to the
Like
point where
that.
it becomes hard to win a national election, just because you have all of these super progressive things, and not everybody's comfort level is the same when it comes to abortion or trans rights or all that other stuff. You know, N- not everybody's at the same speed of accepting it. I'm not saying
It
that it's
seems
right or
to, it,
wrong. I'm just saying it's just kind of the
but
nature.
it does seem to be like the left is propped up as a group of people who are moving forward. Meanwhile, the right are a group of fucking just hillbillies fucking each other up, and they're not moving
No,
forward either.
the conservative argument is if it ain't broke, why fix it? And the progressive is no, things are never just because it's working doesn't mean that it's working for everyone, and that we have to future proof ourselves. We have to look ahead at what we need to do to stay ahead. Um, Again, the Green New Deal is a perfect example of this. We need to start doing things to modernize and futurize our economy, and moving towards renewable energy is the best way to do it. If we become king shit at that, just because how we became king shit of current energy, nuclear energy, computers, and now renewable energy, then we'll be king shit in the world for another 100 years. But we're not doing that. We haven't been investing in that. Again, because if it ain't broke, why fix it? Look, if my daddy was a coal miner, I'm gonna be a coal miner too. That's not that's not that's not looking ahead and changing things. It's being reactive, and that's usually a conservative view.
I think that's not the wrong way of thinking, but I think that's the ideology of the fact that you've got a left and a right. Like you shouldn't abandon all these jobs because of Corona.
The inversion of the parties. So before, the Democrats were the conservative party and the Republicans were the progressive party. And
I
somewhere
know they
along
used to be
the
into
way,
slaves.
somewhere along the way, they kind of started they did one of these deals, and then all the values got remixed and then separated again.
It's true because Hillary
By the
Clinton
end of
was
the
like
60s, you had
anti-gay.
right.
Like Hillary Clinton was anti-gay, and then like 2012, she just changed her mind.
Yeah.
And like that was the new awakening for her. And I was like, oh wow, you spent all this time as a old lady who's like anti-gay. Now you're pro. So, and then like everyone kind of glossed over that.
Now, I mean, I wouldn't say that she was anti-gay, but she definitely
Marriage.
didn't vote in their favor, and that was more
Yeah.
of a political thing than
Well,
anything
I
else.
mean, like,
The
nope.
Republicans do, the Democrats do it too. Both sides do it.
You come out and say I'm anti-gay marriage. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, you lose all the gay votes.
Not just that, but what do you think's gonna happen? What would they do to you in right now if you were to
Who's
say
the
that?
they? Different theys are going to do different things. The Republicans
No,
are going to say
you
that
be
you're a
can't
flip
you'll be
flopper.
canceled.
Yeah, the Republicans are going to say you're a flip flopper. The
No,
far
no
left.
one, no. You will be canceled. I don't care what side you are. If you're anti-gay marriage, yeah, okay. If you're anti-gay marriage, I wasn't too sure if I said that right. Like I'm trying to push a narrative here. If you're anti-gay marriage, you're fucking going down. You're getting canceled. There's no. Everyone will be going. If you're at Disney, anywhere you are, you anti-gay marriage, you're fucking done. Doesn't matter where you are.
I think
You
if
think
you
like
live, no, I
you think
think
Trump could get away with it? Like, oh yeah, anti-gay marriage.
no. If you're not on the national stage and you're in some local area,
Oh yeah,
that's conservative
yeah,
values. You can
yeah,
say
yeah.
that
You're right. Steve from
you're not gonna.
Illinois could be anti-gay marriage, but I'm saying like if you're a
No,
fucking
Steve, a business owner or parish leader, can say that stuff and still be okay. It's. I think it's when you're on the
not if
national
it's
stage.
tweeted.
I,
If it goes on social media, you're going down.
they can still tweet it, but if locally his people support him, then guess what? He's going to be okay. But
No,
it's when you're on the national stage and you're beholding to a broader base of people that you're relying on for your success that you got to start playing the word game, right? So maybe you don't say you're
you remember
anti-gay
you
marriage.
remember that you remember that
You're
fuck
pro family values.
that cake that this gay couple wanted
Yeah,
some kind of to make the gay cake or whatever,
yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
said no. It took them like 30 fucking bakeries to find one that would say no, and they did that. They blasted them on social media, and this is Bob from Illinois, or whatever the fuck, right? And because of whatever the fucking they have inside themselves, it was gone. They got fucked over.
I mean, no. But they're called auditors, dude. And those people, I mean, they're annoying, I'm sure, for the businesses and stuff. But those auditors are the ones that kind of keep people honest. Just because they went and shopped around doesn't make them wrong. They still found a bakery that wasn't willing to do this, that was willing to kind of violate. But
you hear my narrative though. Like, I mean, now you can't go and do that anymore. If people see it, you're done. You're right. If you're in some fucking country of anti-gay people who probably suck dick in the background, yeah, you can get away with it. But like,
not a country that's in this country. That's what
I'm saying. I'm talking about our country right now. Okay. I'm just saying you can't say you're anti-gay. You can't. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's or a bad thing. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying is that if you say that, you're fucking done. Period. That ship has sailed. In the 90s, you're good. Now you can't say that. It doesn't matter what party you're on. That's the thing.
Again, so it's kind of going to the populace, right? So what do the people want?
Is it populace? Because there's games you and I play where you see people who say some shit, and I'm like, who the fuck are these gamers? Who's wanting this?
Okay, now if it's a vocal minority and nobody else really has an issue with it, if it's like, well, fuck it, I mean, I don't care about gay people or not gay people. I'm worried about my work, so I'm not going to put any energy against it. They're kind of allowing it's the people like in the middle, right? So even if it's a small, like a 10% group of people that are voicing their opinion about something, if there aren't enough people or a majority of people to counter them, then guess what? They get their voice heard, and there's probably going to be action on it. Now, if people don't like the action, that's when you get like a lot of other people saying, hey, no, this is wrong. And I think Gina Carano is a pretty good example. I don't think she should have got canned. I don't think I think I wouldn't agree with her shit, obviously.
Well, let's break it down.
And the point she was trying to make, but she didn't. Really
check it. So people took offense to some shit she said many a time. She did this, right? She did like many pictures. This is this and that, and people
kind of sniping type.
Yeah. But this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. She did this one where she posted a picture of like, was it Germany? And it's like Nazis, and then like they're like Germany, like they're like this is not the one she got fired for, but it was like you got not Nazis, you got the Jews behind the fence, right? And then you got a comparison of of the immigrants and shit, and they're behind the fence, that's the parallel there. Huh?
That's not the parallel she was making.
No. That's not the one she got fired for. She got fired for something else. I'm saying that she's okay. One time she did this thing where, like she didn't get fired for the one thing. I mean, she did, but it was adding to it. You know what I mean?
I saw something released today. I wanted to look more at it, that it was possibly Kathleen Kennedy's call to can her.
So be it. No. But
that would add a huge wrinkle to it, dude. That would add a huge wrinkle to it, because now it's not Disney; it's the fucking villain of Disney that's still there that they can't get rid of for some reason.
But like, let's just go towards the narrative. If it was Disney, let's just say it was.
Okay, Disney. All right.
It works. It makes a sense, right? If you constantly keep posting things and they keep telling you not to, because you're trying to create political views. They don't want that. For instance. All right, so Disney has a thing where you're supposed to say you're supposed to say your name and he, she, or she, he. No, what am I trying to fucking say? Him, her.
Pronoun.
God damn it! I couldn't do it. I kept saying the opposites. Him, her.
You know what you are. You're questioning. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. And she said she did hers. Guess what she did? Which is kind of funny because Star Wars. She did beep bop boop boop. And she got shit for that. She was on the list at that point. No. But this is not the first time she's done some kind of a Nazi thing. She did this thing where, like, do you think? Okay, she did a thing with the Nazis, and I keep saying that Jews, and then the fucking immigrants and shit, and then that makes it like a parallel of like Jews.
She was trying to compare the plight of the Jews to the plight of.
No, that's the new thing that she got fucking canceled.
Oh, okay.
Right. There's constant ones like. Right. This ain't her first rodeo. I'm just saying. Do
Yeah,
you
and they'd
think
already
like
been warning her, and then people kind of got off her back, and then she decided to go back into it.
no? Hear my words. Hear my words.
Okay, go.
Just for this one, she does this one where it's a picture of the Jews, in the fences and like Mexican immigrants, and in the cages, right? And and then she does all these other ones with the Nazis, and like they're like how us us attacking our political views is what the Nazis did to Jews, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that the one is more acceptable than the other when it comes to this, or what?
Yeah, one is more
Why?
apt than the other.
What is?
Because in Nazi Germany, the dehumanization of the Jews by calling them rats, and doing those types of
You mean
things.
her newer
No,
thing?
no. I'm talking about back in 1930s, okay, the mid 1930s.
Okay, I thought we were talking about Gina, but okay.
Comparing the Jews to rats was a way to dehumanize them so that you could take away their rights and their shit and eventually kill them.
Okay.
Talking about immigrants as like invaders.
No. Revert. No. They're in cages. Like the Jews were in
Kevin,
cages.
You gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna?
No, but you're going a direction that
it's the same. It's the same thing. The comparison of the Jews and immigrants getting put in cages, that's more apt than the Jews and political differences. That's stupid. That's not apt, because one is state sponsored, the other is not. It's just a disagreement that we have, and calling each other out on hypocrisies. It's not. We're not calling. I'm not. Well, I know I'm not. And I'm not really seeing it. Nobody's really calling Republicans, like rats or inhuman or anything like that. And it's not state sponsored.
Whoa. Rush Limbaugh is dead. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen people? I hope he burns in hell and shit like that. It's like there's a lot of people fucking attack. He's a Republican.
That's pointing at a person. That's pointing at a specific person for what that person did and said throughout their career. This is a
representative of like Steve from Illinois isn't a representative of Republicans.
Kevin, you just said that people hope that Rush Limbaugh is going through that shit. It's not a popular thing to say. I'm not seeing it.
It is popular.
All Republicans should burn in hell. That's not what we're seeing right now. What happened with the kids was all immigrants should be put in cages or sent back. And it wasn't looking at the human struggle and the plight of immigrants trying to come here to find a better life. It was dehumanizing them so that we can go ahead and ship them off and separate them from their kids and not feel bad about it. That's why it's a more apt comparison to, what the Jews experienced, because it was experience of not having rights, having those rights taken away from you by the state, and the state creating a popular movement among the people to not look at this group of people as human, but to look at them as subhuman and less worthy of the same rights that all the rest of us.
So I got her fucking thing brought up, and we're going to break it down, you and me.
Go for it.
Jews were beaten in the streets, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Not by Nazis, she says, but yeah, they were. But let's just say, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors. Which is kind of true. That did happen. Even by children. That's true, because children did have to report. That was part of the Hitler Youth campaign.
Yeah, but one is state sponsored and one is not state sponsored. So one is.
But the sentence stands though, right?
Yeah,
that is history.
It's leaving out a lot of stuff though.
But it is a sentence to be said that is true.
I mean, okay, then I can say, well, this kid fought with this kid, because he's a little bit shorter than him. That's just like the Jewish Holocaust.
Although you could make that comparison. We're not even there yet. We haven't even finished.
Taxes somebody, you could call it the Holocaust then. No. That's why I understand what she was trying to say, that there's a slippery slope from disagreement to, taking away people's rights. You can
Think about what this is. No, stop. We're not even there yet. We've only read like 2 sentences.
All right,
but I'm saying Jews were beaten in the street.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Jews have been beaten in the streets, right? Not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors. That's a legit thing. That is legit. That did happen.
Okay, it's leaving out a lot, but okay.
But that did happen. The Hitler Youth. You know, that was a thing.
Yeah, but the Hitler Youth was sponsored by the government.
The Hitler Youth.
Kevin,
The Hitler Youth. Okay. All right.
It was government sponsored. It was government training. It was like the Boy Scouts by the government to indoctrinate the youth.
So you got Hitler and Steve, and he's part of the government. It's all Steve's fault, not Hitler.
Yes.
No.
It's both of their faults. One for inciting them, and the other one for going along with it.
Oh, you might as well not blame Trump for anything because there's a whole government there.
You didn't
But
hear what I said.
why not blame Trump for some shit? You
I
could
just
blame
said
Hitler.
both. I just said both. I don't know if I'm cutting out.
All right, here we go. All right, let's read the rest of it. So, because history is edited,
okay,
most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply by being Jews. Now, that's a true thing, is it not?
Yeah.
Now, how is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Now, I understand why it's a little bit of a leap in the sense, but like there is a ladder here to be had.
Okay, tell me what part of the government has been demonizing Republicans?
Well, we're not there yet, though. What do you mean? What part of the government's been demonizing Republicans? What are you talking about? I mean, you could just throw
at all. What so the thing is, okay, what you just read made a connection between the government getting people to hate people to people, treating each other, with violence and killing each other in the streets. Okay, so if this is a comparison, so then the government here, she's trying to defend Republicans is what she's doing. The government here is demonizing Republicans.
No, you're using your context. Although you are correct. She is fucking going for that.
That's the reason why she said that shit. Because
I agree. But just based off this comment, which she just copied, by the way, that's not her.
It doesn't matter.
It's not her. She just copied it. But do you understand the concept there? Like if a group of people had a different view of thinking and then you attacked said people, now what the fuck did she do? What happened to her? What happened to her after making a political view? What did we do to her?
No. She made a comparison. And here's the problem. She made a comparison.
Not only did she make a comparison, she said what she thought. She copied someone's
made
text.
A fucking comparison, dude.
But it is something that says, hey, look, if I have a view on something, I'm going to be persecuted for this view. And I mean,
it's not persecution, dude. I'm a teacher. If I go into the classroom and I start promoting straight on Democratic views and demonizing Republicans, I'm going to get fucking fired. So
that's class. Twitter's not class.
That's a class. That's a structure that I've agreed to, and I've come in and I've said, okay, well, I'm not going to get to espouse my views in this classroom. So guess what? If the business that I'm working for is saying, you know what, you can't use your voice or platform to represent us in this way because you are a celebrity, you are a face of our business now, then guess what? We need you to kind of uphold this set of rules. Now, my problem is that there's a lot of other people that have done worse shit than Gina Carano that still have their jobs. So that's my problem with what went down. I disagree with their decision to let her go.
To an extent, like how is it you could go against? How can you go against what she just said as it happened to her? If you say something,
I disagree with it. I think it's a stupid comparison to make.
Why?
I think it's wrong.
But why?
Because one is state-sponsored genocide. The other is just political differences.
But what you're doing is you're creating points that aren't actually talking about the actual point she's trying to make. You could say,
Okay. What is the point she's trying to make according to you?
Well, I mean, like it seems to be she says some shit that's different from the status quo. And then how do we get there?
Again,
just like that.
This idea that Kathleen Kennedy came out who's like super left.
Can we get to her later? Let's talk about.
I understand. But I think the backlash kind of proves what I've been saying. And
you mean the minority, the vocal minority? Because that's what I think it is. I don't really think that you. All right, think of our circle of friends.
But I haven't heard a whole lot of arguments against what these people are
saying. Think of our circle of friends as the world, right? Do you think any one of us give a shit about this? Do you even think we're anti this? We'd be like, okay, I can see it. You know, like truth be told, this isn't a thing I would say. But I mean, when you're talking about, hey, if I say something, I'll get canned, and then it happens. Shit, man, that's pretty hardcore.
I don't agree with her. I don't think there's a whole lot of logic to what she's saying or the point that she's trying to make. But if they'd have kept her, I'd have been like, whatever. Now comes out, they had been warning her, asking her. They asked her to put out this a statement. She refused. It's like she was playing chicken with them, and she lost. Disney doesn't look too good in this. I really don't care either way. They're a private company. They get to do what they want, and hire at will. And if somebody's boss is basically telling them, hey, you got to cut this out, or we're gonna have to let you go, and you keep going, then I mean, you can't really be shocked when it happens or go and cry to the media. I don't think she's really put them on blast in an extreme way.
So like, we're fans of this show, right?
Yeah.
We don't want her fired.
Yeah, I didn't want her fired. I wanted. Exactly. I appreciated her character, but
who the fuck is why are they canning her?
Because at the end of the day, it's a TV show. I love it. It's awesome, but it's a TV show. I had life before The Mandalorian. I'm gonna have life after The Mandalorian. It's what they do with everybody else, and also because her character wasn't the reason I was watching the show. She was great. I thought we had a lot of different, female representation, badass female representation in there without being woke. It's sad that she's gone, but I'm like, well, fuck it. I mean, like, she's gone. Whatever, it happens.
Okay, as a fan of the show, we did not want this to happen, right?
I would have preferred she stayed. Yeah,
exactly. So she made a comment. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I could see the point and angle where it could be right. Now, do you understand? I saw that too. You know what I mean?
What trying to say.
I think that's where I start to get angry.
She's trying to say violence leads to violence. We gotta. She just didn't.
I don't think that's what she's trying to say.
Well, that disagreeing with people, can lead to a violent outcome where we're not even treating people like people anymore.
I guess I don't see that either. I think they just used a very, like, I think the problem here is that we make war with governments and right and left when we should be fucking attacking the media. Like that's like, if she had said this, instead of saying, where is it? Today, don't realize that to get the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them. The media first made their own neighbors hate them simply before being. Dude,
the media is not the government, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. I'm saying, like, because she said government, and it seems like there's no understanding of what the demon is. When we made corporations, we didn't understand what we did. Did you know a corporation could be considered a person?
What she
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, people, corporations are people. Yeah.
No. But they have protections.
Yeah,
because they're people.
Right. Because it all went back to funding those super PACs.
No, but like, think about it.
Them spending money on a campaign is considered free speech because they have those same rights as a person does.
Yeah. So Walmart is literally able to control vast quantities of land and torture many people, but because it's a person, we have to persecute that one company. It's kind of hard, right? It's some weird fucking thing where they could do these fucking things, but there's no way of, like, accountability. You can't throw the CEO in jail.
Laura was not making some nuanced overall view of society type of statement.
No, she was trying to justify.
She was trying to justify Republican views that that the woke side was demonizing.
No, she feels slighted. Right?
Yeah.
She has ways of thinking, the woke, whatever. She has ways of thinking, and then she says she's basically trying to explain and women do this a lot. Sometimes women are right about something, but they don't know how to articulate it well.
I think that's a lot of people, but okay.
But no. But they have a real strong belief in something, and they're usually right. And this woke culture is basically a magnification of that, in the sense of like there is a point to it,
Well,
but
like
it's a
defund the police. I mean,
that's
very
bad.
poorly executed, but
Exactly.
the idea is hey,
Or no. Also, Black
figure out a
Lives
way to
Matter.
start
Instead of
making
saying
cops some more money on people.
instead of saying Black Lives Matters as well, we say Black
Right.
Lives Matters, and it conflates the whole fucking thing.
But again, and that kind of feeds back to what I was saying earlier. That sensationalism, that shock, like, whoa, what do you mean
That's
Black
what I
Lives
think
Matter?
she was trying to do.
It gets you to ask questions. Maybe.
No, that is what she's trying to do. But this is where it doesn't land. I swear to God, dude, I think that if she would have just if you were to identify the media as the actual enemy, because it truly is, the media has the power to demonize a side. It does. Because in the 90s, were we having this fucking conversation? No, we were all fucking Republicans. I mean, like, primarily it was like hardcore this, let's do that. Black people on cops, like it was like hardcore. Like, no gays. You can like watch the movies. If you watch movies in the 90s, which I liked back in the day, they're very fucking racist, sexist, and bigoted, and shit you can't make now. But guess who had that power? The media. And then the media switched it all of a sudden and said, hey, you know what? These people are fucking demons. And we went with it. And they're doing it everywhere.
And that's so these views kind of pop up. It wasn't somebody in the media that said, hey, let's create this narrative. It was more like there's this radical view that's coming out, and it's newsworthy. So that's reported.
I don't think Walmart, like Bob and Steve and all these fucking people, are bad guys. I think we created an entity that could do bad things. And it's like a whole section of people working towards that goal, and we can never destroy it because it's a corporation.
Well, I mean, everything we do causes bad on the planet. You buy a bottle of water, you just spent petroleum.
True that, but you're not fishing the ocean. You're not creating a net that's like dragging across, killing thousands and millions of fucking animals. You are not doing that. And if you did, guess what would happen?
No, but we, through our purchases and our choices, create an industry that is
I concur
to those extremes.
I concur. And we've created a situation where there's these things that exist. I'm not saying corporations are bad or good per se. I'm just saying that we create entities, concepts in this world where they do really bad things, really good things, but we don't really have a way of articulating. Like, America used to be a great thing, right? You could talk about America, and it is the best country on earth. But for some reason, that narrative has slowly shifted away. But like, if you think about it, what's creating this narrative? You know what I mean? Like, we're giving all these money to these states, and of course we're trying to do that to cast influence, but we are doing it effectively. And then you have all these other countries doing, and their concepts too. All these countries are just concepts. Fucking a brand is a concept, and they all do what they do. But there's one thing that would bore in the last 100 years that came to be a being, and it not like an actual physical being, but a thing that started saying, okay, vote left, vote right, do this, do that. And then people, of course, because we move off of concepts. This is a grander thing. I'm trying to broad things here. And I'm saying what she did here is try to point out something where, in her limited way of thinking, if I say something, I will be canceled. And I mean, that's what I feel that's going on. And it didn't land right. And I feel that if you would have did this, talking about Democrats or woke, like, say, yeah, that's what you're going to do. You're persecuting transgender people. Because Elliot Page, not Ellen Page, but Elliot Page made several comparisons to Jews and Holocaust to transgender people, which is like 0.00000 like 2% of the fucking population. You know what I mean? Of the world. And did that. But that's the thing. She got canceled for backing the wrong horse.
Again, I think that there's nobody's voting to take away rights from Republicans or to limit rights from Republicans. That's the difference.
Well, if you vote for abortion, you're taking a right from a Republican because they're anti-abortion.
Yeah, they're anti-abortion. So
If I'm anti-abortion and you're having abortion, you are taking that away from me.
no, that's not a thing. You're offending them, but you're not taking something away from them.
Well, if I kill someone in front of you,
they can still no, they still have the freedom to pursue life, liberty, and all that good stuff. They're just not going to agree with you because you're deciding to
from
have
their
abortion.
point of view, you're murdering kids. From their, I'm pro-abortion, by the way, but from their point of view,
but the thing is,
it's life.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Okay, how does me having an abortion get in the way of that for you? You're really hard pressed to make an argument against.
Well, I'm
it.
not down for you to murder people, right? You're
Yeah,
not affecting my life and liberty, but you can't murder, right?
Yeah, that's where the whole argument comes in about
but you can't murder, right?
Or third week or heartbeat.
No. But that's not my point of view. I'm saying if I'm Republican, I'm anti-abortion, so I think you're murdering people. I mean, like, that's not what I'm thinking.
Again, but you think I'm murdering people, but you still don't think I'm taking away your rights, though. That's not.
But if you murder people, like my friend, if you murder my friend, you are kind of taking my right because you're taking away my friend, right? That's the grander concept, right?
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
I see it.
I'm making leaps here. I'm not this guy. I'm just saying if I see you killing people, which abortion, I guess, that is effectively killing my future friends, my future sons, my future brothers.
That's a debate about right or wrong.
True that.
We've had those debates. We've had those debates for a lot of different things. And
true that. But if my ideology is as such, how about my guns? Okay, I want guns. There you go. How about that? Hey, you're taking my guns away.
There's still a lot of people, in certain parts of the country that think that, being brown or black means you should not have as many rights,
Okay, all right, whatever on that. I'm talking about actual rights that we have.
Just by existing, we're offending them too, and again,
there's no law for killing black people, though. That's the thing, though. But if you can't take my guns, I found a new one. How about guns? You can't take my guns. You want to take my guns?
Okay, so yeah, that's where Second Amendment. Those are rights.
But you can take my guns away if we keep going that direction, right? Obviously, right? If we keep going that direction, eventually we won't have guns because countless times Biden even said we don't even need guns and whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying like that.
But here's the thing: we're having a more nuanced discussion. Hers was a little bit more ham-fisted. What she should have done was probably should have had a full-on podcast where had a discussion with people first to fine-tune what that is, knowing that you're a fucking celebrity, that you're out there, and then guess what? Your boss has already kind of put you on notice about what you've been saying. So guess what?
You got hammered for shit you said, talking about, hey, they're coming after us, and when I say things, they're coming after us, and what do we fucking effectively canceled her.
If I as a teacher, if I'm doing things and they tell me, hey, you know what, we like what you're trying to do, but you kind of have to dial it back or do it this other different way. Either you're not covering your special needs students, or you're not differentiating for your exceptional students or twice exceptional students or whatever, right? Then guess what? I'm gonna not lawyer up, but I'm basically going to start covering my bases and start looking at what I'm doing to make sure that I'm doing things the way that I'm supposed to do.
But this is more of an ideology. It's as if I'll go with you here.
She just said something stupid.
No.
I understand her ideology.
Hey, I want you to teach. Like, okay, let me give you that, because this is more of an ideology if you think about it. So here you are teaching, right? And they want you to teach that blacks and whites are not equal. Now you are fundamentally against that because you're Mexican. So this is not really a dog in your fight, but you understand, hey man, we're all equal. And they tell you this is the new curriculum. This is the way it is. You're not going to want to teach that. You're going to fight the fight. That's who you are. But that's your job.
Now, curriculum is it's developed by committees, and there's a lot of people that are chosen to represent those committees.
But you're saying as a teacher, they want you to teach something that's fundamentally against what you are. Would you do it?
Well, that's where I have a choice, dude. That's freedom of speech. I can leave my job and decide to do something else
No, no.
instead.
So here you are in your job, and then you tweet, "Hey, yeah, I don't like tweet. I am pro Black History Month. Let's just say that's your fucking thing. They want me to stop teaching that, and then they fucking hammer you down, and you made some comparisons about Nazis or whatever the fuck, and they hammered you down for it. But you're on the side of this. I want to have Black History Month. You would be in the right, and most people would be with you on this. But I mean, to say,
I know.
no
There's some
one would come
places
after
where-
you. She just so happens to be on the wrong side of history. I mean, like most people are like, "Hey, man, I don't want to believe in your beliefs," even though Republicans do have their own sense of ideologies and beliefs, and that is the thing that is being hammered in not the government, but in the media. Like I said, like that's a thing in the media. You can't be pro-gun. You can't be this. You have to have. They're forcing language on people now. Like the gender, the what am I trying to say? The what's he, she?
gender fluidity.
Yeah, the gender pronouns. The gender pronouns. Those are forced terms onto you. Like if you're born and you have balls, you would then say a guy, right? But if you say you're identified as something, yes, you can then tell them that. But if you did not know that, it looks like a hairy dude, and you say he, you have now just misgendered this person. And this is a forced thing in our society. Now, it's not there yet, but we're doing it.
No,
Who's
I
pushing
think
it?
it's the same as saying somebody's name wrong. You know, oh my bad, I didn't know.
Well,
Okay,
that's you.
I apologize.
But that's you. But that's you.
Now, if other people are doing now, she did the beep boop. She's trying to thumb her nose at it. Is what it is.
Yeah, she shouldn't have done it at all. But
yeah,
they told
she
her to
shouldn't have
do
done
that, and then she did that. What she should have did was not have it at all. But in her account, and someone told you to do something you were against fundamentally in here. Fundamentally, you want to be, hey, I want you to give me your racist pronoun. You would be like, no, but you would
No,
get
that's
shitty about it. But I mean, maybe you are of the type to make a good quip.
But
You
again,
would say something.
like you said. Most people are not going to disagree with you. Like if you want to have Black History Month and stuff like that.
Not Vicksburg. Ha! Michigan is anti fucking black people. Vicksburg doesn't have a Black History Month. It doesn't talk about Martin Luther King Day is not celebrated. I'm just saying, hey man, I know racism. I'm just saying though, fundamentally, they're pushing an ideology onto a fighter. By the way, she's a fighter, so you're not gonna get the most poignant shit. So you just got to go off her. When a fighter's talking, I just think to myself, I know what they're trying to say, and I allow them to say the things that they say, because it's not like this fucking fighter is
You
gonna
give people the benefit of the doubt.
exactly
The
the shit she said. I know what she's getting at.
I know what she's getting at too.
She's a fucking fighter, probably CTE.
But I wouldn't call her dumb though. I would call her dumb
Get the
for
fuck
not.
out of here.
I would call her dumb for not kind of heeding what Disney was telling her if she wanted to keep her job. Now, if she didn't give a shit and she feels strongly about making these political stands,
What do
then
fighters
all power
do?
to her? But
What do
but
fighters do?
listen, Kev, the reason that people that make political stands or cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the reason they were pioneers or whatever you want to call them, is because they knew that there was a risk. Those people that crossed that bridge in the face of those fucking deputies and the sheriffs in front of those fucking dogs, they were brave because they knew that they could pay a price for doing what was right. That's what makes them brave. Now, Gina Carano was brave to go ahead and say, well, fucking Disney's been giving me warning signs, but fuck them. I feel strongly about this thing I want to say. And I'll defend her right to say it. But again, it wouldn't be brave if she was free of consequence. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
the fact that she got axed, one, she should have seen it coming. She probably thought, no one's gonna fucking. I'm the marshal. They're not gonna fucking fire me. Guess what? They called her bluff. But
you know what? When you watch
at the same time, they called everybody else's bluff too. Or I'm sorry, everybody. They misjudged everybody else's bluff, and now they're fucking getting all this backlash for letting her go.
It's funny though. You watch The Volume, right? and like watch it for just like Gina Carano. The love for that lady is, and I thought this at the time. I wish I had said that earlier. It was overdone in the sense like it was like this is some woke bullshit. Like they're like, oh, she's best ever. I'm like, she doesn't do much. I mean, she's there. She's cool. I give you this. But there was way more like all into her over like all the other characters and things like that. It was just too much.
She was really fun to work with. I mean, and
sure that
her political leanings, everybody's kind of known, you know, for
yeah,
a while.
But they turned hard on her though. I mean, like they overplayed their hand, and then they turned on her in an instant.
Well, again, now this is where this whole thing about Kathleen Kennedy, you know, if that's true,
let's go there.
So, but I don't know. I didn't read the thing. I didn't watch the thing. I don't know.
Because you're correct.
It would explain a lot. It would explain.
Yes, it would. It would. It would be a.
It's a knee-jerk reaction to something. It's a far left type of thing to do to keep a lot of other people around, and then can her for having a Republican view. I really don't think what she did was worth firing her over, and but if it was Kathleen Kennedy, then it makes total fucking sense that it went down this way. And it's another reason to get rid of her.
Let's pause for a second. I gotta pee.
Go pee.
Yeah, like I mean, as in like when I get home, I don't have my phone on.
I have my phone on. I mean,
it's
you know what? I think like if my girl's telling me some heavy stuff and my phone rings, I won't even look at it. If I feel the button, I'll silence it or whatever. But I'll make sure to make eye contact, and I think people respond well to that.
Yeah, I never really thought of it as a thing to have said out loud. That's just a natural instinct. Yeah, well, me personally, I have my phone in another room. That's not like I make a conscious effort. I just don't care. When I get home, I'm all about being in the presence that I am in. It's something I developed a long time ago. I just don't like being on my phone. The only time I'm on my phone really is if I'm by myself.
Well, plus, I was going to say, you got your family with you. I'm by myself pretty much all the time. I'll lose track of my phone when I'm with my girl. You know, if we're hanging around the house, I'll forget it. I'll leave it here. I'll leave it
You're right. You're right. That's what it is. It is. When there's people around me, I don't really think much about it. But
oh, man, if I go to take a shit and I forget my phone, I'm like, get back up in there. I need to go get my phone.
So true. When I have to shit, I got to have a phone. You don't know what kind of news I need to read or Facebook status?
I don't want to, you know, focus on the smell or anything. I want to look at my phone.
Let's talk about WandaVision.
All right, let's go to WandaVision.
All right.
Are you liking it? Are you liking it? Are you enjoying it?
Shit, man. Let's talk about it first.
And before you start thinking, oh, and I told you so. That's not it. That's not it. Because I was in agreement with you that it didn't start out strong, you know, but. Fuck, we're in full speed right now.
All right, I'm okay.
Spoiler alert.
Right? Yeah, spoiler alert. Here's my like. It was right here, and then slowly it's going like this. But then now it's kind of reaching its peak. After episode 3 to episode 4, 4 was like boom, like GameStop stock, and after that it was kind of like incremental. But it's not, and that incremental isn't going as high as that first initial.
Because they broke the dam, you know, and they
they added a bunch of shit like that was like all this stuff was like, oh fuck, there's this whole world.
Now we're moving forward, now the Marvel universe is moving forward.
Yeah, but now we're at this level where it's starting to plateau. Not plateau in a bad way, but it's kind of each episode I look forward to. Let's just say, but not like, oh my god, I gotta see the next thing. We're not there yet. We're just not. But it's good.
You know what? Okay, you're right. I'm eager to see the next thing, but I'm not. I wasn't like fucking.
Not like Mandalorian.
Mandalorian left me waiting. It was okay. The only one that I was like cliffhangering on was when they fucking took Grogu, right?
Or maybe Stranger Things then. Let's go Stranger Things. They took
Stranger Things was one of those ones that, man, if it
was it's a good show, but if it was like a month in between, I really wouldn't, you know, It wouldn't bother me that much. But Stranger Things, if you would have broke that first season into one episode a week,
If the first 3 episodes were a month apart, that would have sucked because it would have been like, God damn, when are they gonna fucking get to the goddamn point?
it would show the true nature of the show, though.
Yeah.
Because Stranger Things is different, though. Because
And again, I think that's why they decided to release the first 2 episodes at the same time.
should have been
Because I
3.
think they realized this shit's way too slow. I
Yeah.
think
Well, let's talk about. So we took a week off. So the episode before this one that came out just now, not just now, but
was the
the one-
cliffhanger where
the cliffhanger is what is it? We saw Pietro,
yeah,
and it was played by the X-Men's
X-Men universe guy.
the X-Men universe.
It could be that universe or it could not be that universe. Who knows?
And did you notice the subtle? Well, that's the newer episode, but what was that episode about mostly? Did she come out at that time and then threatened the director?
She came out, threatened him. Vision is starting to realize more and more.
Vision
that
did
something's
realize
not
he
right.
has this magic ability where he touches your brain, and then you come back to whatever the fuck.
I have a theory, and again, I'm trying not to watch any of the WandaVision video YouTube shit. I really don't.
I'm
wanna
not
get
trying. I just don't.
Yeah, I watched one on accident because it was playing in the background. I realized it was playing while I was washing dishes. I was like, oh shit, and it was talking about something for episode 4. But I think in the episode since, Wanda's kind of exhibited a little bit of all of the Infinity Stone powers.
What do you mean?
So I'm wondering if she's almost like her own Infinity Gauntlet light.
Well, okay. It's funny you should say that. I was thinking more like reality, because that would be the
reality. She's able to restore Vision with the
soul.
bit of the Mind Stone, the Soul Stone. She's able to create those 2 kids, who are probably not part of the town, right? Because they came out of her.
I think you're leaping. I think that's a bit of a leap.
It's just my problem is she's showing. Well, it's not a problem. It's just the thing that I'm kind of.
I know, right? It's like who the fuck's up?
She's kind of showing a little bit of each part of an Infinity Stone. The time,
Not space.
Kind of move things back and forth.
Time, but not space. What about space?
We could argue space. Space is not just teleportation, even though she fucking teleported Pietro to that town. It's also moving things from space to space. It's a combination of
I would like to
Power Stone.
Yeah, I want to know. That's probably gonna be the plot twist: is how did she do it? Right? It seems though that she does need a body.
It's the multiverse. It's got to be the multiverse.
She took Vision's body. She took Vision's body to that spot, and Vision's alive. So she does need something.
Did you notice? Because I watched it twice. I ended up watching it with Chato.
That episode or the newer one?
That episode where she breaks in.
He takes his body.
He's in pieces when she takes his body.
Yeah,
so
but
he wasn't in pieces when Thanos left them there. So that means that they were experimenting. No, Thanos just rips it out and tosses him off to the side. Sword was experimenting on him, and that's why she comes out. And this is why I think she says, "No one's going to take him from me again." So we're not seeing something. We're not seeing her grieving and this asshole showing up and taking his body, and then her deciding, "No, fuck you guys. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get my husband or my."
Yeah, but like, you know what? Like, so she comes back 5 years later. If you think of it timeline wise, so Vision's body is in Wakanda, just there. And you got this scientific resource, right? I mean, like, why not experiment?
Right. My bad. Yeah. So she probably came back and was like, "Where's Vision at?"
Yeah, she fought Thanos.
Sword has him. Give him to me. No, okay, I'm fucking.
Probably went to mourn his fucking body. I'm gonna see his feud. And where is he?
He's in pieces. You're experimenting on him. Fuck you guys.
Yes. I can see her snapping. You know what's cool though? Is that they're doing this thing, and then I noticed this towards the end of the episode we saw before, and then this episode mostly, is they're doing this thing where it's like, I trust people with powers, and then another group of people, I don't trust people with powers, as if you could say mutants, because like, and it's pretty ham-fisted, because like Rambo is like, I'm all about them. Let's see it from her point of view, and I'm like, just like. I'm like, what? She's like, she took a town hostage. You know, like maybe you should, but then they made the good guys or the I was gonna say the Republicans, the sword leader guys, they're like, no, we can't trust her, and you're like this because you were with Captain Marvel. And I'm like, what? And I was like, that's such a
No, but it looks like there was some beef between her and Captain Marvel because there's a time where she's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. You know,
yeah, what's that
Captain Marvel's
about?
not dead. It's not that she's dead, but I think she's probably like upset with her because she didn't help her mom. I don't know. I think they're gonna give Monica Rambeau powers.
Why?
Because they try to make it seem like she was getting cancer from going through the hex.
Oh.
But I think it's just gonna change her DNA, and that's how they're gonna get the first mutants. I
Mutant.
think her powers are gonna be mutant powers.
That's
The
tight.
kids, since the kids are probably affected by the hex also, they could probably also be the first mutants.
Everybody in that town are going to become mutants. No, but like they are pushing a narrative where I think that like when they said powers, they're like, oh, you're all about powers and shit. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be reverse House M, and it really is gonna be like everyone have
She's gonna
powers.
create mutants. That'd be cool.
Yes, I think she's gonna instead of getting rid of them, she's gonna create them.
That'd be cool.
Now, wouldn't it be cool if they brought Magneto into the mix? Because like, okay, so that guy's dad is Magneto. And in the Marvel Comics, Magneto
Yes.
is
In the comics, yes. And in the X-Men movies also,
yes.
but not in the MCU. Now in the MCU, it could be maybe those were their adoptive parents. You know, later on they could say, hey, guess what? Those weren't your actual parents. Your parents were these two people. One was Magneto and the other one, his wife died. And
how fucking tight would it be? Because when I saw Pietro from the X-Men, I was like, huh?
I lost my shit.
I was, what'd you think about that scene right there? Tell me about it.
I lost my shit, dude. I was watching with my girl. I've watched all the episodes with my girl, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And she hasn't seen all the X-Men movies, right? So she's like, where's Aaron Taylor Johnson? And I'm like, that's her hall pass, right?
Yeah.
So and then it was funny because
really?
in this last episode, well, they're closer in age. In this last episode, fucking what was it? It sounds like that one girl's like, yeah, he showed up with the wrong face. Like she sounds all disappointed. And I'm like, man, she sounds almost as disappointed as you did. She just started laughing, right?
It was crazy though. When I saw him, I don't know about you, but for me, it took me a second. I was like,
now I think they did it great because from the back, I was like, oh, it's Quicksilver. And then they did the front. I was like, it's the other Quicksilver. I was just like,
that was fucking mind blowing. Yeah, I was like, what are they doing with this? So what do you think they're doing with this?
And you know what the first thing I said afterwards was? Kevin fucking called it. You had talked about this would be the one that they introduce mutant.
The X, not like it. No, not like that though.
But he's the first character.
I know. But like not like that. I did not think that like Logan, all those characters, I did not think they would do that. I thought they would bring in the character and then just, I'm Quicksilver.
Now
I'm Cyclops.
Now my thing is it the same one?
Is it?
Because he's dead.
Is it? Though?
He's dead.
Isn't it? No, he's dead. Yeah. But they
got bullet holes in him.
They alluded to that too. And I'm like, but why would you get that actor?
They show him dead. I don't know if you missed it. It was like
no, they do. They show it, but I'm just saying though. But they show, so they show like Vision, right? And then he's dead. We've seen his dead body, like animated, and then they showed him. And then so in my head, I'm thinking, well, she must need the body to repurpose it. So how the fuck did she get this guy? Because he's not dead in the X-Men universe. He isn't.
Right. So is it her brother's body that she just ripped back? But he says, I don't know what happened. I was getting shot at in the street and then I heard your voice. So it could be, and I'm going fucking Rick and Morty here. She managed to reach out and find a universe where a recently dead version of her brother closest to the upbringing and story that she had with her brother, she was able to pull him.
That's too much. I don't think they would go that direction.
Look at
That's just too
Doctor
much.
Strange.
I
Doctor
agree with
Strange.
you.
Doctor Strange, multiverse of madness, dude.
I know, but like
It's
when
gonna
you
be
say multiverse, I was thinking, and it feels like it's gonna be in this direction. That's too much. I think what you said is too much in the sense like Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, that kind of universe. X-Men, that universe, and then like I don't know, Hulk, those two movies if you want, and then like things like that. I think that's the direction they were going to go, not fucking Earth 12200, and then it's that exact. I don't know, man. It just there has to be a rhyme and reason why they got that actor, because they could have got anybody.
Too. That's what I said too. They're either trolling us, by picking him.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's some random body that she decided to and then with her Mind Stone ability, she's able to put her brother into him. But there's also something else. There's something else. They're talking about something from their childhood, and she says that's not exactly how I remember it.
I know. I remember that too.
So there's that's where I'm kind of thinking he's from another universe, the closest one that she could find to her brother, and then pulled him in.
Maybe, but why is it he knows so much?
Why doesn't he know so much?
Why does he? He knows a lot more. In fact,
so when I was watching it with Chato, when he shows up, he's all, "Hey, who's the popsicle?" Because when Vision is dead, he looks like he's frozen, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I think he knows that Vision is dead. I think he can see him dead. And Chato was like, no, he looks like a popsicle because he's like green and red. He looks like a rocket pop. And I go, oh, okay, maybe, I think he can see him that he's dead. And in this one, I don't know if he figured it out or if he really does see Vision dead all the time.
But he did say he can't die twice. He knows that he's dead.
He knows that he's dead. I'm wondering if he's able to see him dead. And he's also able to tell. Yeah, you're right. He's able to perceive.
Yeah, that's a TV show.
Yeah.
And he even talks about the kids. I mean, like, what's fucking awesome is that in the episode before, they alluded to where are the kids, right?
I loved his character in this one, dude. This was awesome. He was awesome. It was, I love the way he played it. The man child, but at the same time, he like knows more, but he's totally cool with it, and he's totally there for his sister. It's almost like, hey, I don't care what you're doing. I'm just wondering how you're doing it.
Yeah, because like cool. I like when they talked about the kids. They're like, oh yeah, you only brought the kids out for cameos for like special events, and I was like, man, to understand that concept and everything, and like the if it is her truly, that's pretty bad though. Keeping people like this.
Now, it looks like she created Vision with some level of free will and brought back her brother with some level of free will because he's able to question, and she's surprised by what he's saying. So she doesn't know that it's going that she doesn't know, right?
They alluded several times that at first she didn't know what happened. So it could be someone else starting this. She just so happens to have control of it now. So that could be a thing. That could be a thing. But like, man, dude, the evilness of it though, like she's just keeping the people because she's not controlling them, so they're just kind of like, and it's like they hear
a lady doing this thing and then crying.
Yeah, and then like it's like with Vision in the episode before when he touches the dude's head, he can hear her telling her what to do, him to do. And I was like, oh shit, man! So she like her voice telling him what to do. That's just I don't know, man. I mean, I can see the Mind Jet doing a lot of these things, but like manipulating the city itself through the hex, I don't know. And then like she expanded it to get Vision inside.
I think the angle that they're gonna go with is the more she expands her power, the more unhinged she becomes.
Ooh, probably.
So she could become way more powerful, but she's gonna become way more disconnected from reality, right and wrong.
Well, it seems to be like there's a range of so she takes over an area, but if you're on the outer perimeter of the area, you're in there, but you're just like.
Well, again, she's letting herself when she lets herself become vulnerable is when she lets her guard down, and that's when Vision kind of appears, right? As how he looks, because she's kind of like she's vulnerable at that time. She's going through some shit, and that's when she looks up, and Vision's all fucked up, and he's like, What's wrong? You know, is there a booger hanging on my nose or something?
Yeah. You know
This
what's
time,
cool?
this time she's kind of being disarmed by her brother, and she's kind of like recoiling at some of the things that are going on, and then she looks back at him and she sees him again like that.
Yeah.
Realizes, oh shit, no, I need to rein it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's interesting, dude. I like where they're going. I like it.
I like the like how Vision is getting angry at what's going on in the beginning. Like it's like a slow process, and then he kind of resets, and then the music doesn't go with what's happening, and
Yeah,
it's like he's like, and then like she knows something's off because he's not into her anymore, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then
yeah.
he's all acting all goofy, but he's really trying to get out. And then when he gets out, I'm like, that's why you got that the hammer, dude, because he's like, help them. You know what I mean? Like, you have to stop her. He's telling them to stop the love of his life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's
It
pretty good
was
writing.
it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I
I mean, like,
like
after
the
that.
I like the theme of the show, you know, the Malcolm in the Middle, early
Mm,
2000s, late 90s vibe.
yeah.
It was really good. Them talking at the camera, talking, you know, breaking the
Yeah.
fourth
Like,
wall.
hey, guys.
It was like Everybody Hates Chris. You know, I don't remember those
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. When
Uh,
they did that, I was like, that's so Malcolm in the Middle.
the
And I was
music,
telling my wife that.
the pacing of the jokes. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like, man, they fucking nailed the feel of the
Yeah.
shows. I think at each era they really nailed the
I wonder
the
what
the
they're going to do
type
for
of acting and the
2000s.
writing. Huh?
I wonder what they're going to do for 2000s. Cause I'm like, that's not really you
We
know,
got two more
wait, did
episodes
the
still.
show end? Is this it?
No, we got two more episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's,
I was
it's
like to
supposed to
say,
be eight, right? I thought it was eight.
yeah. Well, it was a halfway point at 4. Yeah, it's 8. I think. But
Fuck all.
like, uh, but like, God, I hope it doesn't end right there because it feels like, I mean, there's like a little bit more to be had, you know. And like, she expanded it. Now I guess the agents of Sword are in there. I think everybody's there now, right? Did she suck them all up into a carnival?
Yeah, I don't. I gotta watch it again to see if she got the director. I don't know if she got them.
She got him, and she got that one smart lady. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. The
She kind of
the
I'm interested to see how she comes out because she kind of it was like she was a fan of the show. Now she gets to be
yeah,
part of it. I don't know. Is she gonna
she
get the
felt more
cheesy stuff?
90s too. So now she gonna be in the
Yeah.
2000s. I wonder what the fuck they're gonna do with 2000s because that's an unrememberable time. But you're keeping it with sitcoms. So what was sitcoms in the 2000s? I don't. The Office.
I don't know. Maybe they'll go reality television. The Bachelor.
Maybe I don't know, but man,
It's fun. It's been fun to watch. I mean, I
it.
think I think what we've seen right now is the limit of like what the trailers show. I mean, I don't even want to go look back and look at the trailers at this
I
point.
don't look at trailers.
No, I watched the first ones because I was fucking starving for Marvel, right? A year and a half of nothing, and then finally something.
Yeah, fucking. And there's a bunch of Star Wars shit coming out too. And what do you think about that? The what is it?
Andor, is it Andor? Candor? What's his name? The dude that died in
The guy in Rogue One.
yeah.
What's that about? You know, like who was asking for this?
I they
Yeah.
they need if they're gonna do side stories, they need to keep it in the time of the Mandalorian. You
Right.
want
Fucking
yeah,
right.
let the stories in the past already have happened.
Yeah.
We don't like this shoehorning something in and then
Yeah.
trying to make it fit with
And it's dangerous to do that because Star Wars isn't just for like the casual fan. It has one of the most vocal minority voices out there. Like Star Wars fans are fucking like vitriol. So like it's like they may be like 10 Cheeto eating motherfuckers in their basements, but they are
yeah,
legion.
yeah.
Yeah, and like they're big in world building and shit. So like if you start talking about some shit in Rogue One and then you're in Star Wars, you know, you're like, what the fuck? Why did you go there? You know?
The problem with when they do that kind of stuff, it's like, you know what, the story was already told.
Yeah.
There's really nothing pressing to go back. All that's going to happen is that you create the possibility of discontinuity, you know, and plot holes and issues where you didn't have issues before, and now shit doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you coordinate the way that Marvel has, and build forward in a timeline with very limited jumps into the past. Captain America, Captain Marvel, you know, then you can tell a compelling overall story and keep people.
And that's the plan when you're world building at this level.
The problem right now is like, okay, what's going on? What's Luke gonna do? What's the Mando gonna do? What's gonna happen with fucking Mandalore? Is Bo-Katan gonna where's all these other characters? I don't give a fuck about what happened before episode 4 anymore.
Yeah, it's like, why would you be talking about Rogue One shit? And it's not even Rogue One. It's a prequel to Rogue One. So what the fuck? Like, why would you give a shit about some guy?
Fuck out of here. Now, does it have the potential to be good? Yes. But can you take that same type of story and theme and all that shit and apply it to current timeline and move the shit forward? I'm pretty sure you can. You know, it doesn't have to be that fucking actor with that fucking name. It could be a totally new character. You know, just like they did with the Mandalorian. Create a new fucking character and a new story and a new thing that starts to dovetail, and then all of a sudden, by the end of 2 seasons, you know, 2 seasons, at the end of 2 seasons, finally become part of the whole fucking story by bringing in Luke and shit like that.
I don't know. I don't know about that per se, like bringing it in. I think it did more. It evolved it, because bringing in Luke wasn't just like bringing in Luke. It set a precedence.
Now, but now it's stamped. Now it's got like, it's almost like sealing, motherfuckers, this is Star Wars. You know,
it's a hard go when you say that, because after the Mandalorian, it's hard to watch Star Wars. It is the newer Star Wars. It just is, because it's bad. Did you know that in China they blacked out the Finn?
Oh no, they made him smaller. But
so that
he's almost not, you almost have a hard time looking for him, because they made him smaller and then they put him against the black part of the poster. So he kind of
I wonder if there was a conversation in a room. Hey, we need this Chinese market.
Yeah.
We need because like when you watch like, no shit, I did this with my kid because I really do like The Force Awakens. Watching Force Awakens, and it really feels like Finn is a bigger deal. Mm-hmm. And then you watch this other one, and they nerfed him.
It was almost like there was 3 main characters. It was Finn, Rey, and fucking god damn it, Ben.
Ben Solo.
Yeah. So it felt like it was them 3. Poe didn't get enough screen time to say, "Oh, it's Poe. It's his fucking story." No.
I don't know what the why.
It was like them 3 were here, and then Poe was like just here. I wanted more Poe. I'll be honest. I wanted more Poe. But
a pilot. Yeah, I liked Poe, but I mean, like, it really did feel like I needed Finn, I needed Rey, and I needed Ben Solo. And doesn't that feel like a triangle?
I wanted to be on a ride with Finn. You know, and
I felt he was my guy.
And they could have set it up in a way where you could have been on a ride with Finn, or a ride with Rey, or a ride with Ben. You know,
I couldn't see the movie. If they had done all 3 movies from more for a perspective of the 3 characters, that'd be great.
I would have liked
Rey would be the second, and Ben Solo would be the third.
I would have liked Poe to have been less dynamic, you know, of the main characters, just to kind of be like that.
He could have been just
not comic relief, but just seriousness relief. You know, hotshot. He shows up, and you know, like when fucking Captain America shows up in Infinity War, you're like, we're gonna be okay. You know, that's what I wanted from Poe, and I wanted the story and character arcs to happen with the other 3.
It would have been tight if he was like your anchor to story, like a better version of C-3PO, right? I mean, like, he'd anchor the story because he's piloting but it would have been cool if the story was forced in a perspective of, say, Finn, then Rey, then Ben. And Ben would have been a series of flashbacks so you could understand his plight. Because, like, I mean, the best villains are the ones you understand. And from a perspective of Ben Solo, if you do it in a way where I have this power, I have this shadow I have to overcome, and all these people keep failing me one after another, if that doesn't turn to your dark side, I don't know what does. Rey, she's got to battle her dark side. She's all this power and shit, and she learned it too fast. So that could have been a cool thing too.
Yeah,
what happens when you're a genius?
They could have had Luke fail Ben without turning Luke into a piece of shit. Yeah. You know, they could have showed Luke really. all of that could have been a movie. And if they had sat down and thought about it, they could have done it and told it and led us to where we would have found without needing flashbacks.
That'd be cool too. Yeah, I don't know. You kind of need a flashback for Ben.
Dude, I'm watching Clone Wars, and I just got to the end of the 3rd season Essentials, right?
I'm happy for you.
It's so cool watching them grow and watching them change without needing flashbacks, and all the things that are happening.
Well, because they have 26 episodes to make a season. So you don't need flashbacks. Right. You just make story.
A flashback is if you don't have time. Now,
that's what I'm saying, movies.
The thing about telling a new story with new actors, you have time. What's the fucking rush? You have to have this person play Finn. You have to have this person play Rey. No, there's no fucking hurry. The hurry is to finish telling Luke, Leia, and Han Solo's story, because those motherfuckers are going to die, right? Yeah. Leia already died, and guess what? Now you don't have her to go ahead and finish out a really full telling of her story, And so I think they squandered that opportunity to have the team back again and to offer a real transition to another generation.
Man, I really wanted Finn. Of all the 3 characters, I feel the most pain for Finn because he's such a good that guy is such a good actor. And it really felt like they really gave a shit about him in the first movie.
Yeah, he said he wanted to play it a little bit more grim, because he was like, "Hey, this guy's a stormtrooper trained since birth to kill, and now he's having a change of conscience. He's questioning what he's been raised to believe." So I was trying to play it. He said he was trying to play him a little bit more like a little bit more traumatized, but they wanted more comic relief. And it reminded me, there was a
black exploitation.
Yeah.
It does feel racist what they did to him.
It was a joke that they made in Get Him to the Greek, where they talked to this one guy. He was like, "Hey man, I'm just in the background doing the Africa face." He just does a big old black guy. And I was like, wow, that is a thing. It was put the funny black guy in there, and we can enjoy it now.
See, that's the thing I don't like about Disney is they pull these fucking fake ass woke moments, but they don't go there. You want to have gay people, have dudes fuck.
It doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah. No. But when they do it, it feels like it's like a mother giving you something. I wanted a PlayStation, but you got me the Sega Dreamcast. You know what I mean? Like it's something that I wanted, but I didn't want. For instance, the 2 chicks kissing in Star Wars 3. I mean, why not have 2 bros fucking? Not actual fucking, but I mean, it's never 2 dudes. It's always chicks. And it's something I could just see nerds saying, not nerds, but fucking people that, well, we have to have LGBT. Well, we can't have dudes because we'll lose the fucking community. So what's hot? Chicks. Yeah. Dudes like chicks. Dudes like chicks kiss. And I'm just I'm not into that in the sense that if you're going to go there, go there. You know what I mean? You're going to make some DC character gay, make it Superman. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't do it. Yeah, but I mean, as in, if you're going to go there, fucking go there. Don't babyfoot it and say, let's make these chicks lesbians. Because I've seen a lot of my shows, my sci-fi has been taken over by LGBTQ, but not really. It's just lesbians, a lot of lesbians.
Again, it kind of goes back to the whole consumer thing, and I'm pretty sure they did a whole think tank and
I know that's what happened.
And they said and kind of based on roundabout ways of questioning. Fewer people pulled the dial all the way over on the objectometer when they saw 2 girls kissing than when they saw 2 guys kissing.
I know, but if you're gonna go there, fucking go there. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? I don't know. You'd have a black character prominently. Fucking do it.
Well,
he was the main guy. You see his face prominently in the trailer.
Yeah.
Did you before episode 7? There was a lot of rage. How dare they do this? This is Star Wars. Racist fucks. Here was my
thing. The first trailer comes out for Force Awakens. The first person's face that they show is Finn. And I wasn't when he took his mask off, I didn't say, "Oh shit, it's a black stormtrooper." I said, "Oh shit, it's not one of the clones." That was the first thing I thought.
Well, okay.
And everybody was like, "A black stormtrooper? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to be political?" I'm like,
I didn't even think that. I thought, wow, they're making a black guy the main guy. That's what I thought. usually when you have a trailer, main first fucking person you see is the main guy or girl. And when I
See,
saw,
I think that's where they were trying to go.
I was with it. You watch that movie, it really felt like he was the main guy for part of it.
He had a lot of emotional moments, when he
Yeah.
confesses to Ray, he's like, look, I'm not with the resistance. I'm not any of this, but
Oh,
if
he
you
had
can come
growth.
with me, we can go, we can run,
Yeah.
and we can survive and you can come with me.
Yeah.
Come with me. And it was a real moment. And he played it really good too.
Oh no, he had growth. He went from running away to standing up and fighting something he could not fight. And loses. And what a way to learn. So the second movie should be you learning not to have that happen again. And this time you be the person who wins. But in the
training, both of them should have gone to find Luke. But
no, I think that it should have been him training, her being like, I'm already badass. Because she started that first movie like really good. Like, I can fucking bend your mind. I mean, even Ezra hasn't even gotten to that level. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he does now, but I mean, like, as in, she got so far so fast using the Force at such an early age. I would say that the second episode would be her like, while Finn's trying to figure it out, she's got this, and then like the hubris of it, because that is what
frustrated, maybe he gets frustrated or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of ways they could have gone.
I know. You can't help but say shit though. But like that first fucking episode, they should have guided off of it, not try to fucking destroy it.
Well, that was all Rhiannon Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, those pieces of shit. I'll never forgive them for that. Never. Fucking never.
Did you watch Mortal Kombat trailer?
No, I didn't. People have been telling me about it.
It looks fucking stupid. I'm watching it. It doesn't look. It looks like. It reminds me of when the first Mortal Kombat trailer. Mortal Kombat's not like a film and this and nuance. Blah, blah, blah.
I wanted to watch that movie,
though, right?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Yeah, so that it has that same feeling. I don't want to talk about it if you haven't watched it then, because no.
I really, man, when that Mortal Kombat trailer came out, I could. That's Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah,
I could. Yeah, dude, I couldn't wait. I couldn't fucking wait to watch that movie. And when then I watched it,
when the movie started and the New Line logo drops and you hear the beat going, doo, 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 I was like, I remember sitting in the chair. I was like, fucking charged. I'm shit. I'm getting fucking goosebumps thinking about it right now, dude.
When you said that, I thought to myself, there's no movie that does that now. There's not a movie that does that now.
When now, no. Star Wars got close when they did the 20th century logo and the Lucasfilm shining thing. Marvel, when the episodes of WandaVision come on, I play it loud, dude. For the Marvel,
but like when Mortal Kombat comes out and you see that New Line Cinema,
that's an original movie. You haven't even seen it. All you've done is play a video game with very little story.
Yeah.
You're excited.
No, but New Line Cinema gave you what? Ninja Turtles, didn't it? Freddy Krueger. I mean, we gave. Oh, dude, my heart, dude. When you see that fucking thing and you hear Mortal Kombat with the song, and then and it's the movie you wanted. It is the movie you wanted.
It was, yeah.
And when you watch it, it is what it is. And you couldn't wait to watch it again. And then when you watch it again, and again, and then get this, to this day, you still watch it. In the sense that
music, I still listen to the music from the thing.
You make fun of it, yes, but I mean, like, it has something there that there ain't no movie I'm watching now where I'm like 10 years, I can't wait to watch it again, get it again, and then 10 years from now I'm watching it, making fun of it, but it's like part of my being, you know what I mean? And maybe that's an age, I don't know. But I don't think they make movies like that anymore. Because that's a really bad movie. Like when you
it's not a thinking person's movie.
No, but like there's movies that are out at that time that are better and better action, just better. But that movie it captures something there.
It was an
magic.
Experience. It is an experience. And I would compare the experience of watching it almost to like Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
The first time you watch Jurassic Park, you're like, whoa, you were like, how did they do this? And
I don't know. Terminator 2 for me.
How did you do this? I'll show you. And you're like, yeah, fucking show me.
I don't know. Terminator 2, way more. way more cathartic, way more powerful. Like the fucking Terminators moving and shit. The story.
I felt like it was happening in real time. You know,
I felt like I died
watching
too.
live feed of this shit happening.
My best friend died that day. That's what happened. Okay, that's that. You know what I mean? Like that's how good it was. Like it was to this day. Yes, dude. I was like, this is. There's no. I was crying. I was in 4th grade crying. I'm like, oh, he can't die.
I was scared to death of him in the last movie. Now I love him.
Yeah, I had watched Terminator.
You took the villain, the scary, and at the end there was no nuance or nothing. You know, he's a machine and he absolutely will not stop until you are dead, and now he's the father figure.
Yeah, and not just that, like I think it's because there's comedy in it. I think that when you add levity to something that's serious, I think that you create like a cathartic kind of thing when they die. You just have to have a good balance. This is hard.
Yeah, they cut out I think they cut out the right things, like where he's trying to smile. Yeah.
And when she goes to kill him, that's a pretty cool scene. She gets him to take out. That's why he starts learning. Yeah, that's cool. Like, that's about it, really. And the ending where she's older.
Yeah, I'm glad they cut that out too.
Yeah, a lot of the parts they cut out, I'm good with. Forever, and that's rare to say. You know what I mean? When they cut out parts, you're like, why did they do that? This that's good.
Well, that would have been cool if that stayed there. No, I'm glad they took out the smile. I'm glad they took out the old Sarah Connor scene at the end. The learning one, I'm glad they took that one out because he's got like a stupid look on his face, you know, when they pause him. I was like, yeah, I want him to stay cool the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Even when they do make a joke at his expense, you're like, oh fuck. When he does the too slow and he's like, it's funny, but at the same time you're like, he looks like you might kill him.
That movie was so good. You know what I liked about it is that the next movie was good too. And people shat on that movie. And I to this day maintain that movie was good. You know what?
The third one?
Yeah, the third one. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Hand. No, it's really fucking good. I still like it to this day. It's just that the actors they changed out. I think that if they kept the same actors, well, just the one guy. Really.
I like the ending. You know,
yeah, you couldn't stop it.
He was just trying to get them to safety. Yeah, it was gonna happen no matter what. And seeing the bombs fly and shit like that, I was like, oh.
I think that was pretty cool. It kind of sucks because it kind of undoes the second movie. The future is what you make it, but unfortunately, the future isn't what you make it. The future's happening. You can't stop this shit. You know, and then the fourth movie, I fucking love, dude. I love that fourth
Salvation?
movie. Yeah.
I'm all about Salvation.
Dude, that movie's so good. And then they stopped.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie was good. The military feel, that
actor,
the A-10s are flying in and shit, and you're looking at
the dead actor. What's his name? The guy who plays,
Sam Worthington.
No, he's dead. The guy who plays Connor's dad. Anton
Yelchin.
Dude, that guy, fire starter, dude. When he plays that role, he's like Simon Beale, whatever the fuck his name is. The guy, he acts just like him, dude.
Michael Biehn.
Yeah, Michael Biehn. Man, he is so good.
He did good.
He's so good in that movie.
He did good. I would have liked to have seen the bridge between that one and the one that we end up seeing, but
I thought that was good.
I would like to. No, I didn't have a problem with it.
I like the intensity of John Connor. It makes sense for him to be who he is.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Dude,
you know, he fell in love with that one Terminator, but that was that one. And plus, that was the one that he and his future self trained to take care of his past self. He still didn't trust anybody.
Yeah. I thought that was great. Dude, that movie's so good. And like a lot of
shit to begin with. He's really just another soldier.
Like, who would have thought that would happen? That was such a left turn. Now that is a subvert. Because when it started and they're like telling him what to do, I'm like, oh, so he just becomes a soldier? But it makes sense though, right? Why the fuck would you just be in charge of everything all of a sudden?
General,
but then he does it. He's understaffed. He's just a badass leader. he saves a bunch of people, and then that makes sense with the story of John.
How his influence grows. He
Yeah,
goes really from being a blogger,
yeah,
or a
yeah,
podcaster
yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
actually leading people, and
Yeah,
so
and it was cool because like when the Terminator 1, he goes, yeah, he freed the first of us, and he taught us how to fight him. And then in Terminator 4, he's teaching them how to fight them, and he's doing that, and then the leaders die, and he's the main guy. And it was just like, damn, that was a really good movie. And then they got confused about money. They all wanted was money. Rather than making something of a legacy, they just wanted money. And so when you get Terminator 5, they fucked that
I didn't watch
up,
it.
dude.
I didn't watch it. I don't need to watch it.
Well, in the Terminator 6, have you seen that one?
Nope. Dark
You
Fate.
you want to see your dreams ruined?
Oh, fuck.
Mhm. Everything that 4 was, opposite. Because 4 was pretty good. It advanced the plot of the sequels. It gave validity to them. And then it continued the story. And this one, they were like, you know what? All those movies you watch, fuck you. You're misogynistic. You're a dude, fuck you. Women. That's what that was.
Yeah,
You
4
should
was really
watch
good.
it.
I
You need to
thought
watch
4
it.
I felt like 4 was a return to form, and then
5 sucked.
they didn't keep it going, and I was like,
Yeah. I don't know what they like. 5 felt like a reboot of the franchise. They really tried hard. They tried to start from that point on. But you gotta watch. You should watch 6 just to see.
I know I have to. I know
You
it's
should
on my
just
list.
that one alone. All the other ones, whatever. But that one, you got to see how they could fuck something up so badly.
My problem is that Destiny 2 just dropped a new season, and I'm really into that shit.
And what is that one called? It's called it's something with the Europa, right? They're
Season of
like
the Chosen.
the stasis. That's the new power.
Yeah, I'm not using it.
That's so stupid.
I'm not using it.
Like they could have chose anything. They chose that.
I'm whatever on that. I don't know. For me, it's Mandalorian, the video game, almost, because you pick up bounties, you talk to different people, and then you get in your ship and you go and you fucking fuck people up, and then you come back. There's
Have they
no
done
Grogu or anything like that, but it's kind of like you're in that similar type of universe, And so
Have they done anything with the ship? You still just fly? That's it?
no, there's nothing with the ship. There's nothing really special. It just looks cool. Yeah.
Have they done anything new in this game other than stasis? It's the same shit.
So right now you're running around challenging people. Every season's gonna have this new different thing, right? So right now there's a bunch of generals, and you're running around challenging them. And as you challenge them, you get these other things to level up your shit, right? And they're kind of building towards this other enemy.
The raid?
I don't give a shit about raids, dude.
I know, right? Like raids were fun, weren't they?
You know what's cool? You know what's cool? And I shit on it before, and now I'm like, this is really cool. Gambit.
Yeah, a lot of people like the Gambit. I didn't get it. It's like you fight each other and people, or
yeah, you're on your side, they're on their side, and you're trying to kill the enemy, and then every once in a while somebody from the other team has a choice to come on your side and fuck shit up for you. And the problem is you're still making a gamble, right? Because if you jump to the other side, you're not really supporting your team anymore, but you aren't, and so it becomes like, well, who from the team should go? Who's the best 1-on-5 person that we have? Because you go by yourself.
yeah,
right? I like it. I like it.
it's like your new version of Prison of Elders, because you had your raids, and then Prison of Elders kind of changed everything, and then
it gets intense. Gambit gets intense because you're trying to fill up your bank, right? To get the boss to come out. And then you could see the other team and how close they are to filling it. And once they got the boss to come out, you're like, oh shit, you're like in panic mode. You got to hurry the fuck up. It's not just a kill score, a kill count, or how many points you're getting for holding a position. You can picture what's happening on their side of the field, and all of a sudden your plan changes because you can jump through the portal, go to the other side, and when you kill somebody on the other side, it actually refills the boss's
You know
meat.
what bothered me about that game from the beginning, from the jump, is the raids, in the sense of they really should have created matchmaking for the raids and not for to get stuff so you could learn the mechanics. Because
Yeah.
because when you go into a raid, it they want you to know how to do what you
You
need
have
to
to.
do.
Yeah,
And
otherwise you fuck it up for your team and nobody
yeah,
wants to
and
fuck
it's
you.
not like a skill thing. It's just you just have to know what to do. Like in, for instance, in Destiny 2, when the Emperor, his fucking, you have to go through the
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go through these gates, and if you don't know what gates you're supposed to go through, everyone dies. And I'm like, that's not really a skill based thing. You really have to just memorize
Yeah.
the
Memorize the
mechanics
pattern.
of it. But like, there's no way for, like, my kid, he plays, right, and you made the raids a way in which my kid can't play the max level of a game. Like, and it's not like he doesn't have the comprehension. It's just he needs to be able to play with a group of people that are
Yeah.
going to be cool with him fucking up and wasting hours upon hours, as opposed to if you go on matchmaking, eventually people are going to figure it out. Like, my kid's able to take like, he's playing Destiny 1, right? And you're supposed to get the ball into the thing to open the gate and do it 3 times. He understands the mechanics because it matchmaked him into the thing and then eventually got it. They don't have to communicate. They just need to know how to do the matchmaking.
Or you could see somebody else do it. You see somebody
Exactly.
else do it, and then you do it. But with those raids, especially the one that you're
They
talking
won't
about, the
let you.
Callus,
Yeah.
the Emperor Callus one, you have to be doing your own shit. You can't see what they're doing.
Yeah. There's
You
that.
can't even be in a position to observe. You have to go on YouTube to figure it out. And that's just bullshit. I shouldn't have to go to something like YouTube
Yes.
to learn how to do
But
something.
I think that if given the opportunity, if you had a matchmaking, and say it's like on easy for whoever the fuck is doing it, at least you're doing it and getting that max level fun, learning how to do the mechanics.
Yeah.
And then when you go into an actual group, you're not just dumb. And like, watching a YouTube video, people who are playing this video game aren't watching YouTube videos. They're playing games. They're doers.
And then the problem with the way those raids were set up, you almost need like a 6 multi-screen video so you can see what each person is doing in that raid.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't just have one screen and tell you, okay, this is what you're going to do.
Or
Do
maybe
this.
like
this,
a
this,
beginner,
this.
how to
Well,
do a raid. Like,
person 1 has to do this, person 2 has to do this, other person 3 has to do, and you got to do it all in sync or else you're fucked. I was like, what the fuck? When did this turn into Neon Genesis Evangelion? Where we
yeah,
have to...
it's weird, right? Because like, here, okay, when I play a video game, I could play the max content if I just persevere. I do not care how much you persevere in Destiny 2. You're not getting anywhere unless you watch YouTube videos and study and hope that a group of people take you in and teach you the ropes.
Yeah.
And I think that's stupid because, like, you're really limiting a lot of people who could just play the game and eventually build a bond from there.
Well, they have these things called battlegrounds. They're like strikes. You just go in and fucking kill. There's things you have to unlock, but you could see somebody do it, and then you'd be like, okay, I know how to contribute now. Contribute, not you have to do that, and I have to do this other thing at the exact same fucking time. But if I don't know, we're both fucked. No, it's set up to where I can cover that guy while he's doing the objective shit, like grab the ball, hit this generator, grab the ball, hit this other generator. You know, I could be like, okay, I'll cover him because he's getting shot at while he's carrying this ball. He can't defend himself, right? So I'm still contributing in that event or that activity.
Yeah.
A raid, and then if somebody fucks up, it fucks it up for everybody. And then I was like, I remember one time we spent like 5 hours, dude. We got to the last part. We couldn't get it done. And it was just somebody was fucking up somewhere. We couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been there with the raid.
Oh yeah, we talked about it one time.
Yeah, in each raid, I've been there where I couldn't figure it out, and you spent hours and accomplished nothing. But I just think that it's kind of a fucked up thing because my kid, he could play this game, and like a nobody could play this game and not get anywhere near where he can be. But because of the mechanics are so fucking complicated, they didn't create an avenue for him to play.
Well, but here's my thing. There's so much content. There's so much to do in the game. I don't really miss the raids. And not only that, Destiny's not the only thing I'm playing. So, I like this. I like this rhythm of, new content comes out, play the shit out of it, and then go back to Dragon Age or Minecraft Dungeons or, Gran Turismo. I could play something else because I've had my fill
But
of Destiny,
but the
you know?
thing is though, with Gran Turismo, Minecraft, all these games you just named, Dragon's Age, there isn't a way for you're just limited. You know what I mean? Like you really do need other people, and realistically, that is a thing where it's done. If you don't have this group of people to do this
Oh
set of
yeah.
thing,
Oh, the raids are locked
that's what I'm
behind.
saying. Like, and that's the high level content. So all the games you just named off aren't things that exist. You, if you work hard, you could get it. Doesn't matter how hard a person works at a Destiny, unless you have all the key components of a raid, that shit ain't happening. And I'm just saying that's kind of fucked up. And that's why I hate that game so much. And then my kid wants to play it, and I'm like, look, it's like I don't know. It's like he doesn't notice it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's something about that bothers me.
Hey, I
That
just I don't like the raids, but I'm enjoying everything else. So,
yeah, I guess that's a
well,
thing. I mean, 100% of the game is taken away from you. Not
that's not
100%.
100% of the
Not
game.
100%,
Only
but
like
you know what I
10%.
mean. You can never reach 100%, period.
Yeah,
It's
I that's the only thing I need to do to fucking platinum that shit is finish a raid.
yeah, but like all the other games, you could 100% get that done. You can get it done. There's not a game that's out of your reach. But Destiny created a thing in which, yeah, if unless you're on point with everybody else, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't like that idea. And most people aren't bothered by it, but I don't like the idea of something being limited just because you don't have enough friends. Or you don't understand the concepts of stuff. Because people
Well, you
aren't
don't have
gonna
enough friends that dedicated to
yes.
completing something like a raid.
Yeah, they have like 8 hours a block.
Now, I like the idea of a raid when I first heard like the word raid. I was like, "Oh, sick." So it's going to be like game of death and you're going through different levels to try to get to the top of
Yeah.
killing and maybe having to kill using different tactics. So you maybe go
Yeah.
full in kill, then you got to do a little bit of, like behind, shooting from behind cover,
Like the dark below.
coordinated fire or some shit like that, but not jump through this hole, then jump through this hole. And if you don't do this other secret thing that you're not prompted to do, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
And you
I
gotta
know,
restart
right?
all over. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I, I
and it doesn't
was
make
like,
sense
"No, I
story
want,
wise too.
yeah, no, I wanted like Judge Dredd moving up the fucking levels to get to the
Yeah.
fucking bad guy, or the raid redemption or shit like
Yeah,
that.
you know what? It's weird that they couldn't create a concept of fighting like a guy, and that's the puzzle, fighting him. But the puzzle in this game is like if you don't go through this portal at this time, then you dead. And like what sense does that fucking make? Like, yeah.
Like when you first fought those walker tanks and you noticed that people were shooting at the legs.
Yeah,
Why are
yeah,
they
there
shooting
you
at the
go.
legs? Oh, wait, you shoot at the legs, it disables them, and all of a sudden his neck comes out. Oh, got it. But you could do it by observing. The
Yeah,
raid, all 6 people got to be doing their shit and know their shit the moment
yeah,
they walk through the door. Nobody can kind of observe, or everybody could tell them. The people that know can tell them.
yeah.
Okay, you got to make
That's
sure that
how
you
it
do
is.
this,
It's
this,
designed
this,
that
and
way.
this. But eh, I, I, I get the idea, but
It's
I don't know.
amazing that people get them done. Like first raid, like when they did the was it King Crota or something like that? I don't know, King's Raid.
Taken King.
Take it, King, yeah. And then like you gotta jump on these little platforms and drop the ball into the thing. And I mean, Jesus Christ, like how do they figure this out? It gets even more convoluted when you get the Lords of whatever the fuck, like the Siva one, or the Machine one, where like you have to do like codes and shit. I'm like, how the fuck did anyone figure this out? You know what I mean? Like, how did they see, oh, I gotta put 4, 5, 6, or you guys need to stand here, here, and here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what though? To get void weapons, you have to do the raids.
My favorite one of my favorite coordinated type things. There's 2 different ones. The multiplayer in Halo, I thought was awesome.
Well, you're just fighting.
Capture the flag. Because the maps were big and wide open.
Yeah.
you know, and there was little hills and little nooks and crannies and shit. It wasn't CQC type shit. You know, you could
Well,
see the guy,
domination. I think
see
capture.
somebody from across the field running with the fucking, or you can see the top of the flag kind of going along the hills. You
Yeah.
know, they're over there. You know, they're by this thing, and then you're rushing over to get to them.
Does Destiny have capture the flag?
But it doesn't have any levels like that. You know, it doesn't have
No,
any
but does
wide open battle
but
area.
does Destiny have capture the flag?
No,
It doesn't, does it?
no.
It has domination, which I like,
I
but it
like
doesn't
domination.
have. But it or control. They call it control.
Control, right?
Yeah. What is it, Call of Duty? No, but like they don't have capture the flag, do they?
No.
They have a ball that has to go somewhere, right? No. But that's not like capture the flag. You have to get the ball into the hole. He dunks
I like
it.
capture the flag because I don't want to call it some fucking ball or something. I thought it was really cool. You see the fucking guy running with the flag.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
then,
Capture the flag was fucking tight.
That was tight, but it was tight too because it was like a paintball mentality on a wide open field. You know, it felt open. You know, it felt like you were at a park playing. Not
it
like
wasn't
in a bunch of
easy.
buildings and shit.
It was not easy.
It was not easy either. Yeah, no,
No, it
it was
wasn't.
pretty awesome. That
What was the other one?
Was it Breakpoint and Wildlands? When we would
Predator?
work together to attack
The
some
Predator?
fort or something.
Oh, dude, nothing
We're like,
beats the
okay,
shut
you guys
up.
will do this, you guys will
Nothing
do
beats the Predator. Nothing beats the
that was,
Predator.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Dude, some of my best moments in life next to the raids and shit is like when we were just playing and we were trying to kill the Predator, which we never did.
We never did.
And it was so fucking fun, dude. There's so many jokes that went down. I mean,
I recorded a lot of that shit too.
yeah, I know. I've seen it. I've seen it on the I got it on Facebook and shit. We shared it on a PlayStation thing. There's so many good times, man. This shit was hilarious. Like there was one time we were fucking crying. Like I can't remember what it was. What were we talking about? It was like we were fighting the Predator, and I was like, "But
we were
why
fighting.
did you?"
We were yelling, "Sergeant!"
That was funny. Yeah.
we're yelling. We're all yelling.
Yeah, Sergeant. And there was one part was like, "But why did you do that, Adrian?" Something Adrian did that was dumb as fuck.
He was like, "Wait, come over here, and he threw a grenade on the floor,
and then we died. And I was like, "But why did you do that? Why?" Fuck, those. I'm gonna go and relive those moments right fucking now. Go on my fucking PlayStation.
Or when we found an NPC after a battle and he was just like staring at a river, and we just came up and shot him in the back of the head, and we were laughing because he was just right there. I think Adrian said he was just right there contemplating life, and we ended it.
How come we had so much fun playing that game, but when the sequel came out, we didn't play it as much?
It didn't have the same feel. So Wildlands had the feel of the movies that we grew up watching, especially, you know, Predator and those types of things. The
and
guys
when they talk shit to each other,
in, you know, boom bitches and shit like that.
Yeah, so good.
The radio kind of had some, you know, chatterbox feel to it from Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
you know, it was funny.
It looked better too. It just looked better.
It had a better aesthetic. It felt like a real place.
Looked better though, because the newer one doesn't look as good though.
Because the style, I mean, graphically it's better, but the environment, I mean, the dirt and the trees, that looks cool, but the towns aren't towns. It doesn't feel like you rolled into a town with your buddies to start some shit.
Yeah,
you know,
man, dude.
It's all manufactured. It's all sanitized. You're fighting against machines. You know, and a few soldiers, and it doesn't feel as now. When Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, when the first one came out, it felt like a more now type of deal. And you know, we went from Halo 2 to that because we were like, no, Halo 2 was looking like cartoons now. This was real, you know.
Dude. When that Call of Duty came out, oof, man.
Yeah, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It felt like you were in a military simulator.
Yeah.
You know?
But nothing beats Breakpoint though. I mean, when we all played Breakpoint, dude, it was fucking crazy. It was a magical moment where we would play, have fun, It was
Yeah.
like bros just on trucks and shit, and just shooting shit up. We weren't doing anything, dude. We really weren't doing anything. And then this new game
No, a
came
lot
out.
of
We
times
don't do shit, and it's more shit. We just don't do anything.
we had fun with it, but it just didn't feel the same as Wildlands. It wasn't
Yeah.
familiar enough for us to say or for us to feel connected to it. I think it's the same reason why Grand Theft Auto Online, was so popular, is so popular. It's a real city. You go to LA, if you played enough Grand Theft Auto, you kind of know your way around Los Angeles.
I
It just
wonder if that's gonna be because okay, so each epoch of video games we will be playing like that. That's a thing that happens. We'll get caught up in it. Not everybody. I'm talking about us, our team.
yeah.
And I wonder what the next thing is because we used to play fighting games, but that's clearly not a thing anymore.
I keep
That's just
trying
not
to
gonna.
play Tekken with Chato when I go to
That's
Vegas.
not. It's not a real thing. It's just not. And then those games are done. So like, and then we got into break. We play Call of Duty. I wonder what the next fucking thing is because like when we were playing like that
We were doing Destiny for a while, but
we did do
but
Destiny,
it wasn't the same. It's just
but
like Wildlands and Breakpoint. It was like a story almost because we would go to our camp, get our shit ready, decide what we're gonna do next, and then drive over to that place to go and do that thing.
And we played a lot of time. Like, okay, so when Destiny came out, there would be times where me and Chato would spend 3 hours together hiding. not fighting, but hiding. The attempt to kill something. Me, Wedo, and Chato once played in the Elders? Something.
Prison of Elders.
Prison of Elders. And we played for hours. I picked up my kid, came back. They waited for me. And then we lost. That's what we did. And like, I have to say, like, I wonder if there's another game out there for us where we'll all get together and do that. Like, it can't be the stuff we've done because the games up to that point that like Prison of Elders wasn't a thing until it was. And then what was it? Breaklands? Wildlands. Yeah, wasn't a thing until it was. And so on and so forth. I wonder if there's another game out there for us, like just waiting, something new.
I don't know.
It's weird because it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what to say because it was really cool. Like we would just get into it.
The thing I liked about Wildlands is it was a cross between an adventure game and a
Grand
shooting
Theft Auto.
game.
It was Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
but it was like shooting.
Call of Duty Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. And then we did Destiny, and we did like we downplayed, but we did a lot of Destiny. If you think about it,
I think we did.
I mean, we did a lot because like I don't play that kind of hours now. Like I'm 39. There's no way I'm playing 8 hours. This is not.
Yeah, Destiny 1 we were pretty into. The beginning of Destiny 2 we were pretty into.
And then
I
we
remember
just
jumping in with different homies and
yeah.
Yeah, I think we just stopped at Forsaken.
Yeah.
Right before Forsaken hit, I think we were all kind of petering out on it.
Yeah, and then well, that was it though. And then games kind of started becoming a mishmash of things. Now we kind of talk about it, but I don't think there's any kind of game out there because they're all becoming sequels of stuff or remakes of stuff we've already played. So I wonder if there's ever going to be a thing where they come up with a new game that we're all into. I mean, because the gamer inside of us is still there. We're just waiting. I feel like we've been in hibernation since fucking Call of Duty, really.
Yeah, I'd like a new adventure game for all of us to
something new where we could all like just have fun. Because like I find it though, the things that I do in my time is try to create moments in which I'm like, oh, you can't compare it to a movie. Like for instance, I'll play like a board game with my family, and there's some laughs to be had there. And it's a board game. It's not really that fun, but you make a joke here, and then you're laughing about 20 minutes, and it's the new you. You know what I mean? Like so
we when we went whale watching, we had the boat guy was like, we got to go way out there. Unfortunately, we're sorry. So we went about 4 miles out, to where the islands out there were looking really big, and we were way the fuck out there. and this super galaxy, those fucking gigantic transport planes that the military uses, we could see it kind of lift off from North Island, and then it did this big old loop, and it flew right over us, dude. And and my girlfriend was like, "Are you gonna record it?" And I was like, "I'm recording it with my eyes," like I was in that moment,
Yeah.
and what you're saying right now, it that's what I'm about too. And like I'm in shape right now, and I I feel like I've got this energy, and I want to start doing things. You know what I'm saying? And
I hear you.
create those
Like,
moments. And dude, I
yeah.
love taking pictures. I love taking pictures, but I don't live. I don't want to live looking through this screen. I
Yeah,
was
for
in a
sure. Like,
relationship,
like
it's easy
there'd
to
be
do that.
times, me and the family would be playing like Life or something,
Mhm.
and I'm not recording it, but something I'm like, oh, well, I got looks like I had like 5 kids. I guess that's good. And then there's like a joke, and then we all laugh about it, and it's a moment you can't record. It would no context. But then again, I do seek those moments when we were playing, and the Sergeant, and then like we're fucking dying, or we're trying. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get our helicopters and shoot at it. Like come up with some stupid plan, and it
Or like
didn't
we
work.
were at the yard house and laughing about something, it being obnoxious and loud
I
and
do
shit.
miss that. I do miss that. But I mean, like, yeah, I do miss that. Yeah,
Well, it's the same thing. Those are moments,
yeah, those are
or
moments. Yeah,
fuck, dude. When we're watching Avengers, the first one, and I'm sitting
yeah.
next to Wedo, and I'm like, dude, we're watching an Avengers movie. And he's like, I know, dude, it's fucking awesome. And
I remember when we watched Transformers. You looked at me right. That was fucking cool.
dude, look at me.
When the plane went through the thing, I was
Oh yeah,
like,
the
shit.
very first time when
Yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
I was shit.
he's just
I
like
mean, like,
blowing everything away.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I miss those times where we could come up with those moments, and like, it's out there. It's just COVID really ended everything, but like, it feels like a lot of the things that we liked, um, like the media and stuff like movies and TV shows aren't producing anymore. Like they're producing in increments. And yes, I do like The Mandalorian and I do like WandaVision, but they're not at that level. You know what I mean? Like it's like that media or video games. They're just not coming out at that level, right? They're like, oh my god, you gotta play this fucking game. Like we say these things, and these are shadows and embers of things that we used to say. And I feel you at some extent, but really it's not the same as in when we played like Perfect Dark
do
or
you do you remember? I just watched this a couple days ago. I don't know why I looked for it. Do you remember when the first kind of teaser promo for Halo 2 came out? And it was the E3 video with the crowd in the background cheering. Do you
no,
remember that?
no, I don't.
That was so good. I want to talk about it with like Adrian or something, because I know I watched it with him, and it was the first time you see Master Chief get on a Gatling gun, on a stationary, machine gun. Everybody goes nuts, and you're feeling it too because you've never seen anything like that.
You know
And
what?
then,
Halo
and
3 was it for me. When I got to Halo 1 and 2, I was like, but when Halo 3 came out, that was a new era of
oh
time.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It was like a next level.
Yeah, it was awesome. But it's just that there was moments in that trailer where you were charged about something. It was something simple like Master Chief gets two guns. Now he's going akimbo, and everybody loses their mind.
Yeah.
You were fucking lost it too because you had only seen that like in GoldenEye, and it looked kind of cheap. But now fucking Master Chief's got it. He's a fucking unloading on people, right?
Man.
Um, there was those kinds of really exciting moments, and I watched the video. It's like 3 minutes long, and I was like, fuck, this was fucking awesome.
Now you know what? Nothing beats Perfect Dark. When we were hiding. Let's see,
from the rockets, and then
it's a
seeing the
time. It's a
rocket pad
time.
go by, and then like come back at you.
There were times like in life where you're with a group of people trying to survive like a strife-filled experience, and so like when we created the perfect sim, and we would hide in like the
In
complex or
complex.
something.
Did you
Yeah,
say
you said,
complex?
yeah, we
I
did.
said the
We
same
did.
fucking time. Yeah.
Yeah, we just did the best friends thing.
Like
We were in
hide
the
corner complex.
and we would hide, and then we were like, oh, and then we just die and shit, dude. It was like some of the best moments of our lives. So we split the sheet and everything, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, there's not that many games out there that creates that kind of thing. And like I said, when Destiny came out, like I felt like this is it. Like right here, it recreated that moment for us. Like because we were hiding, like literally hiding and getting off like 2 or 3 shots, and they would just be like that for hours.
I think we might have been into Fortnite if we were that age. Because kids ask me, "Do you like Fortnite?" I'm like, "I don't play it. I mean, I can see why you guys like it, but I mean, I don't play it. Why don't you play it?
Yeah.
Because I have money.
I know, right?
I don't need to go into a free game. You know that I don't like really
Yeah.
like how it looks.
Yeah.
The mechanic, the building.
It's too cartoony.
I get it. No, I get it. You know, it's a big wide open world. I think we would have been into it. But again, I don't know. I think we're looking for something.
I think two possibilities. One, there will be a game that we don't know, and it has a way of playing that hooks us back in, and that will be good. Or VR, something VR. And
Kevin,
I don't know.
Do you want to have
don't
sex
know.
with me in VR? Is this what you're trying to get to? Are you trying to say
Oh, like what is it? Fighting Vipers?
Demolition Man?
Oh no. That's all I remember of that. He's making that face.
I'm
like
uncomfortable watching him with his orgasm faces.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she goes, "I didn't even touch you yet." And then he's like, "What? We didn't even do anything. What about the birds and the bees or whatever the fuck you say?"
The horizontal mumbo. Yeah,
I got. We gotta wrap it up because I gotta go to bed. It's 12 o'clock over here.
No
so.
shit.
All right, man. You have a good rest of your day.
We're keeping out for that game.
It'll probably be VR. Be something like where we're, I don't know, it'd be cool if it was like a horror movie and we're all trying to survive it and shit. I think that'd be the best.
We'll see.
Not like Resident Evil with like a vampire.
Never.
All right, man. As always, if you're watching the podcast, watching two nerds just get off on talking about Trump and then WandaVision, because those two things link. Follow us on the Spotify, YouTube, get us anywhere where you get podcasts. And as always, be the better person you were yesterday. Don't get caught up in the rhythm of talking like Eber and get caught up in the rhythm of talking like me. All right? That's how it is.
Damn it.
Just make a good decision by following me. And always stay frosty.